Yes, sirs, and yes, ma'ams. How y'all doing tonight? My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm here to bring you the Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio. Triggered on a Wednesday evening, man. It's cold outside. We got some snow. The Midwest is Midwesting. But welcome to the show. Share the show. Let people know the show is on. Last week, I shared the wrong show while we were live. For some reason, my phone was behind. And so I was sharing the show last week. We were actually, not last week, but Monday, we were actually on, but I was sharing the show from last week. So shout out to the people who got the show from Monday. It's up now. You can go and check it out. It's a great show as usual. How y'all doing out there? Like I said, Outlaw Radio is what we do. And I'm saying we because eventually the crew will arrive. It's what we do on Mondays and Wednesdays. People say, hey, you got a podcast, right? Well, nowadays everybody has a podcast. So people say, yeah, you got a podcast. What is it about? I say it's about Black people. And people then say, well, what do you talk about? I say Black people shit. That's what we talk about. So if you wanted to get involved in the conversation, please do so. The number scrolling across the bottom of the screen is 262-202-5131, 262-202-5131. We also have a very, very active chat room. If you've ever watched my show, you know that between the phone and the chat line, it gets very interactive. So we have people who rock with us. Shout out to all of the members of the Outlaw family who support us. Mama Jenkins, Dion, Ewok, Josh Arthur. There's so many people to name. But I'd like to shout you out. So hit me up, man. If you want to do, I'm always looking to collaborate with people. When you watch the show, you see just me, right? But if you got something to say, hey, hit me up, man. I've so many individuals who have platforms in Milwaukee, and I'm not gonna say their names because but they've hit me up and say, hey, I'm gonna do this podcast, or I'm gonna have my own platform. What should I get? What do I need? What kind of software? What kind of program? I tell them off top, have at it. If you feel like you got something to say and you're convicted by it, then you might need your own platform. I think that is the genius of this whole content creation age that we are in right now, is that if you feel like you have something to say, if you get just a few things, some people just have a phone. Some people have iPads and other kind of advanced equipment, but get it off your chest, man. If you can paint, get you a brush. That's what I always say. So, but share the show. Ewok in the chat room. I told you about this chat room, right? And boom, Ewok. What up, homie? Let's get it. What up, Ewok, man? How you doing? Please share the show. I did call the show Triggered tonight because I think there's a lot of behavior in our community. There's a lot of cultural norms, if you will, and things that happen. And a lot of times we just look at the happenings and don't ask the whys. We don't say, well, why is it like that? Right? Talk about where I'm going with this. Shout out to you, Shay. He says, peace from the Mile High and income and illegal migrant flooded city, Denver, Colorado. Shout out to you in Frontline Black News. Shout out to Shabaka St. Cour with Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Yes, sir. Hashtag not your enemy. Hashtag I am not your enemy. Regardless of how you vote, regardless of what you eat, where you go to church at, whether you tall, short, light skin, dark skin, I'm not your enemy. If you're a person of color, and when I say that, that's a broad stroke. So if you're a foundational Black American, I am not your enemy. Understand that, okay? I'm not the one you have to worry about. I'm not the one who's going to snake you. I have no ill will, right? I'm about my business. I'm about taking care of me and mine. So, I'm about recognizing that it's bigger fish to fry than us kind of arguing and bickering amongst each other and calling each other names and all kinds of wild shit. But when I say triggered, what is the cause of a lot of the behaviors that we see exhibited? We see violence, we see aggression, we see people, extorting people. We see them assaulting, harassing, all kinds of shit, all kinds of antisocial behavior. But what is the trigger? What's your trigger? Like before we start, pointing at other people, we might want to start looking at ourselves, saying what triggers me emotionally? What gets me to the point where I'm ready to go to the mattresses, as they say? You feel me? And if you say I have no triggers, right? If you're out there and you're listening and you say I have no triggers, there's literally nothing that can get me off my square, no matter what I see, no matter what I hear, please call in and give me some advice, because it is hard not to have any triggers. Now we know with certain, diagnoses or whatever that you may have. I don't know how tight your machine is, or, I don't know how hard your hardware is, but some triggers send people down deeper rabbit holes than others, right? Someone who is maybe has an addictive personality, or there's something that, that they can't once see. There's certain people who once they do something and it gives them kind of like this, I won't say high. It doesn't have to be drugs. It's, man, that was really enjoyable. Semi-euphoric. Those people who have these kinds of personalities won't stop until they get more and more and more of that. A lot of us say, okay, that was cool, but let me live my regular life and earn the right to do that every now and then, right? So you say, I ain't got to smoke a day, but I'm going to do what I need to do so that when I do feel like I want to, smoke, I can do that. So you're earning the right for a release. So what is your trigger though? Like, is it something in your childhood? Was it something you've seen? What's something you've heard? I would love to, like, I'd love to talk to Dion about this, because, and Dion frequently calls the show. Dion is an outlaw, because he talks a lot about, like, he's very passionate about him hating black people who voted for Donald Trump, right? And so there's something that triggers him there, right? It's something that triggers him. It's the holiday season, right? It's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, and then it's New Year's. One of my triggers used to be seeing pictures of my deceased parents around the holidays, because both of my parents, like I said, are deceased. My mom passing actually 3 days after Christmas in 2006. So the holidays for me at one point were very, very, it would send me down a certain path. It would trigger me, right? I would see their pictures, and then all of a sudden I'd be flooded with all these memories, and then it's the mourning of the loss, even though it had been a long time ago. But okay, so I probably drank a little bit more. I probably smoked a little bit more. I probably snapped at somebody a little bit more when they were, trying to talk to me or whatever. My behavior, I'm sure, was sort of antisocial. So it was a trigger. Now I talk about triggers, but I like the point I like to make is, if we can identify them, then we can work on removing them. So we'll have less reactions, less misunderstandings, if you will. So it's one of those things. Like I said, when you go inside and you're internally processing, like, yo, damn, what sets me off, so that you can avoid it. A lot of times people I talked about addictive behaviors. The best thing they could do is to not go in the environment that they were in, because whatever's in that environment is a set of triggers. It sets your behavior, it sets you off. Now you might say, man, I've been clean 10 years, but coming back here just brought so much up out of me. It brought so many memories back. And next thing you know, they done, backslid. They done backslid, as the old folks say. So I think it's very important that we start to look at what bothers you, because try to avoid that. You really can identify the biggest sources of stress in your life. Most of us can identify them very articulately. I think the problem is most of us don't have the means or don't know how to acquire the means to get rid of that thing. Because for a lot of us, let's be honest, it might be and probably is your job. It's the biggest stressor on you. Whatever, if you're lucky enough to have a job where you say, nah, I love it. Every day I go to work, have a great time. I love these people. It's like family. That's cool. That's cool. But a lot of us, especially in the Black community, because you probably have a job where you don't make enough money for your own liking. Like, damn, I need to make more money. Shout out to you if you're getting enough money. We got time for the money makers too. But I'm just saying, like, or sometimes it might be a relationship. It might be a specific place that you hang out at, certain people that you allow around you. All of this is in the game. And you really have to look at it. So people talk about like getting out of the hood, and some people do. We know there's a lot of us who say, nah, I'm here for life. This me. It's the hood. Where else I'm going? Shout out to you. Shabaki says, greeting outlaws from Sin City. When I think about, okay, what does getting out of the hood even actually mean? Okay. Do it mean, okay, I blow up, I get rich, I get wealthy, or I find some money and I get me a house. I moved to a neighborhood that I would say is better. Or maybe you did move to a better neighborhood. Maybe you just moved to a different neighborhood. But I think when they define getting out the hood, that means going to a better neighborhood, right? When I say better, I mean statistically, a higher tax bracket. You would expect more safety, more stability. When you say a better neighborhood, I think what it takes is for you to be able to let that go because of those relationships, because of whatever it is there that reminds you of something that sets you off. You won't ever be able to leave, really, if you can't really get past that thing. Okay, like, so I like this, the places you eat in the neighborhood, the people who you know it like the back of your hand. You know where to go. You know the spaces. You know the spots. Um, you know, if you can say, you know what, I'm ready to embrace something new. People get on me about this all the time because they tell me I should move from Milwaukee. And it's just like, it's up to this point. I'm like, nah, I don't necessarily know that I have a reason to. Nobody's ever really offered me enough money to make me even think about it, because money makes the world go round. So if someone said, hey, come here and take advantage of this opportunity for this amount of money, I'd be like, oh shit, time to go. But that hasn't happened. And thank God I've been able to maintain here for, since I've been here, been able to maintain, keep myself standing upright. I mean, I'm not rich, you know. I don't necessarily want to move to a place where the cost of living is higher. And so I make a little bit more money, but in my mind, I'm thinking I'm living better because I'm making more money than I used to. Well, the cost of living there is higher, so it evens out. You seeing something new, at least, if that's what it's about. But I want to get back to talking about triggers, man. What are your triggers? It's time to start for us all to start thinking about, hey, because one thing about stress will kill you, right? And we're brothers of a certain age now. You see all this salt and pepper. That's not for special effects. That's hard earned right there. That's gray beard. So I think I'll live just a little bit longer if I can reduce the biggest stressors in my life. Of course, you got to deal with the health part around that. I just feel like if I get to a point where I can say, you know what, my life is not, I don't stress about anything. I'm centered, right? I'm focused. And I feel like I can avoid the triggers that set me off, set me back, set me, down a path that I don't want to be on. Y'all let me know though. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. I'd like to know what are some of your triggers now that we're thinking about this, now that we're coming up with this. Because I'm looking at what's going on in society. We got great white crime to talk about this week, right? Like today. like great white crime. The alleged missing kayaker, okay? This white boy from Milwaukee. I'm not from Milwaukee, from Watertown, I think he's from. He made it look like he, had died in a kayaking accident, and like he ends up over in Russia or some shit. Like it's like this is a wild story. There will be a Netflix documentary made out of this shit, right? Like and he's like a lawyer. So he's just like, what was his trigger? What triggers this? He said he had been talking to some lady from Russia, I guess. And he was like, we talked about where else you gonna go besides America. And Dion was saying he wanted to move to the mountains of Afghanistan. Like this dude was really aiming to be in like Uzbekistan or some shit like this. What was his triggers? What was going on with this dude? And white people tend to, y'all cover each other's dirt very well. We don't have any further details at this time. Ain't nobody saying why he wanted to just dip. And look, he came up with an elaborate scheme. Like he he had this whole thing. He went and bought equipment in certain places. He left clues. Like, I'm like, what is up with this? What sets this off? Yeah. And so I mean, I look at criminals all the time. Like, I was reading a story today about a young brother who and I know the newspaper doesn't always tell the whole thing because I don't think they are always privy to all of the truth, but based upon what the young man says is like he basically killed another brother for being at his baby's mother house. But he came to the house, kicked the door in, she took the kids and locked herself in the attic. He then murdered and this was the young brother. I guess he had been friends with this girl. They said they had been friends since middle school. I don't know if they was touching and agreeing or not. We don't know. But what triggered this other young brother to come kick in the door, murder him, and then take the kids and the baby mother to his mother house and basically hold them hostage? He took them to his mama's house. What was his triggers? What set that shit off? Right? Like you have to ask yourself, like, okay, what's really going on? And it's so many acts of violence like that you see in the community every day, and you say, and where does it come from? Like, why are all these people just all of a sudden, just all these young people in particular, to just demonstrate this super antisocial behavior? There's a large amount of youngsters here, and I don't know if it's emotional for them. Once again, I talk about the music that the young folks listen to nowadays is really, really emo. I mean, you listen to a lot of their songs, it's sad as shit. Like, one of some of their favorite rappers, like we talk about, we lost Tupac and Biggie and this kind of thing, but they talk about like Triple X Attention and the boy Juice WRLD. Like, you listen at these dudes' music, that shit's super fucking sad and suicidal and emo. And this is what a lot of these young brothers are dealing with. I don't know what is the trauma? What is the trigger? I guess you'd have to do a case study on that and talk to a lot of them and help them identify what their triggers are. Shabak is in the chat room. He says, oh man, he says there are all kinds of triggers. One is bullshit political actions. Okay. Let me go down this. Shabaka says, ass scratchers are great triggers. Ass scratchers. I'm not sure what an ass. I know what an ass kisser is. I guess that's akin to an ass scratcher, I guess. He said white supremacists are other triggers. I don't know if that's micro enough. White supremacists, what about them? Is there a fear that sets you into fight or flight? Is there an intimidation factor that makes you feel back to fear again and makes you feel a certain way that you're not used to feeling? It makes you uncomfortable. It sets off a certain type of behaviors. When we say white supremacists, what part of white supremacy? I think it's multi-tiered, multi-level. Ernest said Dion missing his opportunity to co-host with you with his good talking ass. I don't know if Dion's on the road, man. I don't even know if the Outlaws will be here. I don't know what's going on. Shabaka says, what is a criminal? What is a criminal? Crimes that are acts wrong within themselves or acts against statues? What are the crimes of these kangaroo courts? I think murder is one. Listen, I get where you're going. I see the real estate that you're swinging at. But I think there are some things that are deal breakers in terms of crime. And then I think there's some stuff where we just lock people up sometimes and just say, just like you said, it's about a statute. It's about a law that's written, and you don't know if that law is based on some kind of racist precedent or some kind of discriminatory, good old boy, ideologies. That happens. But I would talk about something like rape. Like that's a crime. Even if they don't say it in the law, like if they never wrote it down and said it's illegal to rape somebody, it would still be a crime in my eyes. Murder is kind of like the same thing. I think murder is like, okay, you took somebody else's life, right? Even if that wasn't written, it'd be wrong. We said child molestation. Anything you do to a child, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be written that is wrong. And see, that's why at one point in this country, our justice was like lynch mobs, because they would say, nah, he guilty because he guilty, not because of what your statutes say. So that's a good question, right? Like what's a crime, or is it just like, so you say something like conspiracy, right? Like, okay, what did I really do? Well, you was planning on doing some shit. We kind of reach for that one. I can understand how you utilize it, how the government utilizes it, but we're reaching in that regard. I got Dion on the line. Dion, it's Outlaw Radio is triggered.
Yeah, I was triggered the other day. Yeah, I'm listening to you. I was just moving these trailers around, so I couldn't call you real quick. But when I was stopping to get me something to eat, I heard you speaking. I said, "Let me call my nigga." But yeah, you already know I'm in the house, man. I ain't going nowhere.
Right now, I wouldn't know Ernest was fucking with you in the chat room. I'm not. Look, I'm never worried about you calling the damn show, right? Like I know you're gonna call and say, "Damn man, I'm out here on the highway" and shit like that, So
yeah, I just got to get somewhere with a reception good though. But yeah, I was triggered the other night, man. I don't even see why you. I wanted to inbox you like, why you let that buster call, man? Nigga lying. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, though.
Shout out to Orlando Owens, man. He called in, and you're right. He had you. See, that was a trigger for you. You were, because you was wilding out, like you.
I got out of character, man. I don't even do that, man. But don't lie to me, though. You sitting there talking out, you lying, man. You know what I'm saying? You making it seem like this country gonna be so bad after that old crooked ass dude get in office. He gonna fuck everybody over. We gonna be out here in a recession just like George Bush had us.
But before we even go into that, I'm talking about what about him? Because first of all, he took it upon himself to feel kind of personal about some stuff you had addressed towards him in terms of him if he had any kind of benefits from the country.
He said he was getting benefits. He said it out of his mouth. I just didn't come up with it and say that he getting subsidized benefits from the government. He said it. How would I know it? I don't know him personally like that, so he had to tell me something like that, correct?
Well, I'm saying that's his motivation for. He came at you hard. He came right at you through the door. He came at you. He said, "Dion." He said your name, right? So because you had made that statement to him, like, yeah, you got kids, you getting food share, and all this kind of thing. So we got the Juice Lady in the building. How you doing tonight, Juice Lady?
I'm still triggered. I was thinking about that shit this morning. I'm triggered that niggas is waiting on me to get on crack. When they say niggas waiting on your downfall, they waiting on me to get on crack so they can pay $40 for some cooch. Boy, you remember? I know you back in the last episode. They said, man, if Courtney ever get on crack, nigga, I was excited about it too. Praying on my downfall.
That is Dion at his finest. Talking about He's gonna have $40. I'm gonna have 2 crispy. Yeah, man.
My
God. That's
she can spend the night too. I ain't even like that.
Oh my God.
Hold on, let me get in the truck. I gotta cut it. I got you playing in the truck. Let me put you on mute.
It's good. Let me catch the chat room. Jesse said the majority of these new artists are trash. Once again, I don't at the risk of sounding like a bitter old man, I don't know if they're all trash overall. I know that it's trash to me because it's not music that is made for me. It's not written or marketed at me. My time was years ago. Like I was, because the young people is who pop culture is aimed at young people. Like it's always been that way. So I don't, when I hear it, I just know to skip past it because it's not for me. So are they trash? I don't know. What I was saying was, since the theme of the show is triggered in terms of what sets you off, I was saying our young men wild out right now with a lot of antisocial behavior. And I'm like, well, what is triggering this? There has to be something. There has to be something that's setting this shit off. But then I thought about their music is very emo. And you think about, it's Juice WRLD and Triple X's Tension and 6ix9ine and all these dudes. It's like they're listening to their music. They sad. They just even Rod.
All them cats.
Well, I have an 18-year-old son, so this is what he listens to. Rod Wave. Rod Wave sings the saddest songs. I'm like, dude, make a happy song, boy. Like I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you one song. None of them things.
My son listens to it. I listen because I always wanted to know what he was listening to because I wanted to see where his head was at. You know what I'm saying? But like I asked people tonight to identify their own triggers. What triggers you? Think about it. Something you can be cooler than a fan, right? And a certain thing will happen, and you'll find yourself like Dion was ready to go to the mattresses last night. I mean Monday he was pissed. Orlando had him hot, and I could tell Dion was mad at me too because I was letting Orlando speak, so I could tell Dion, whatever, Kev. I could tell he's mad at me too. He said, "Shout out to Shabaka, our West Coast correspondent. That is Jesse Paris." Shabaka says an ass scratcher is the one who says, "Boss, we sick," like Tim Scott or Karen Bass. Okay, brown nosers. Okay. He says Shabak is referring to what Huey P. Newton said about crime and statues. That's fine. It was a great question. This is like I said, I think some crimes are crimes without man saying it's a crime. I think some shit they kind of make up. Like, yeah, we'll put your ass in there for this too. Right? Like it's technically there's laws on the books from the 1800s that say it's illegal for you to spit on a sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that's some of that shit. Those clauses they've never gone through all these laws and remove the ones that was obsolete. Like even in Tulsa right now, there's still a clause in home ownership that only whites can own property. Now, because there's a federal act, the federal, Civil Rights Act and all this kind of shit, and they say, well, nobody enforces it. The hell you preach. Look at Wauwatosa. You see what I'm saying? That's still sitting there on the books. There's some black people out there. It's some black people out there, but that's still sitting on the books. I live right next to Tulsa, so I'm a Tulsa adjacent. For somebody say, "Kev, you talking shit? You damn near live in Tulsa." I'm on the edge. I'm still Milwaukee.
How about
Jesse,
Butler?
He's shouting out Juice Lady. Shabaka said, "Rape is an act wrong within itself to many public servants in sex. For a motherfucker to commit rape." Let me read that again. Rape is an act wrong within itself to many public servants in sex.
Too many public, so they were supposed to be 2 O's. Too many.
Oh, okay. See, so it's not my fault. It's just that I read it like 1 O, right? Not 2, but 2.
Too many.
Right.
Too many public service sex.
That's what I'm saying. He said, "What's a crime versus what's the violation of some statute that they've made up?" Right, and that's why I said rape, molestation, murder. To me, these things are crimes without them ever writing that shit on a piece of paper. But then when you say terroristic threats, we can lock you up for that. Like what? People been threatening each other forever. I beat your ass. That's a terroristic threat.
But the laws in the North is different than the South, though.
I don't know. Now you'd have to pull up some specific examples. How they're enforced may be different. I don't know. How are they different? How are they different?
Because in the South, like you can marry a 16-year-old girl if her parents have give you permission. And I don't think they could do that shit up here in the North.
I believe they can. If she's 17, I believe your parents can sign their
I said 16.
Well, 16. What I meant to say is if she's a minor, your parents can sign their parental rights over to somebody else. They can do that. I don't know about saying you can marry her, but I mean, if they say here, you can have her. Yeah, I mean, remember, that's basically what Aaliyah people did to her with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Like, how much you gonna give us for? I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. I'm sorry. It was totally classless, Kevin. He said, "Juice." This is Shabaki said, "Greetings, Juice Lady." That is why they are called triox. Okay, triox.
Why don't just say tricks? Why are we not just saying tricks?
I guess tree jumpers.
Did I say that wrong? Is that not an O? Because I can't. My vision ain't what it used to be.
Oh, it says those are.
That is why they call tricks, not triox. That was my fault. I'm illiterate. My fault.
What's going on with your eyes now?
I'm old as shit. I am old, man. Come on, give me a break.
I knew it a couple episodes ago. Niggas act like I'm just saying shit. Y'all old. That's why Kamari ain't here. You sleep.
Oh wow, damn, that's fucked up. Just Tony, what it do? He said, "What up, Outlaws? Hey man, and don't you talk down on a good nap either, because that is some powerful shit."
Naps matter. They do.
I learned that as an older dude, where you sneak one right quick, like. Somebody say you was asleep. You like, no, I wasn't. I just had my eyes closed. Your ass was asleep. My brother's good.
Yeah, I fell asleep in the lunchroom today.
Oh no, not on.
I was in the break room though. I was in the break room though.
I thought you standing there with the macaroni and cheese, like.
Hell no, boy, you stupid as hell.
Sabaka says stress is a great trigger. It is. It's the absolute trigger. He said this rap shit is nothing more than a trigger for self-destruction. It's okay. So we talk about, on this show, we've even discussed sometimes that music is akin to some kind of voodoo where it can like kind of get people together and chanting and this kind of thing. Is rap a trigger for some people? Are you triggered by rap? Are you triggered by music?
If I turn on my ratchet playlist, next thing you know, I'm driving a little faster and shit while I'm, saying that you doing 60, you weren't really trying. You like, damn, let me slow down. I'm out here turn the fuck. Let me slow down.
I'm pointing the finger like I got a gun. And
you know what I'm saying? It's going down. Let me calm down.
Have you ever been the person who pulls up next to you and see how you look in the car? Like, you like, damn, what's going on?
Yeah, I do be. I've been looking at people's cars. That's why
some people like someone's triggered. Someone's triggered. Right. I could say there are certain songs that, if you're driving, you do kind of say, okay, let's go home.
That new Ice Cube may make you feel like that, or that old Ice Cube?
You know what? The new Ice Cube, I listened to Ego probably about 9,000 times and watched the video probably about 20,000 times. But Cube has a song called Sensitive. And to me, and this is just to me, it's one of the best songs I've ever heard Ice Cube make in his career. And he has a verse in it, and he say, they used to call these nigga words. So what the fuck is trigger words? Words like him and hers. What's a pronoun and a verb? So it's a...
You be in a car like...
Yeah, I'm on my way there.
That's right, Q.
Right, with my work ID on, right? Any car just doing
I ain't heard one Ice Cube song yet.
Ah, man, you missing out if you from our generation, you gotta check it out, man. It's a lot of stuff on there that's dope, but I still think that Sensitive is, oh man, that shit is, because it's still it's speaking to what's going on now, right? And like I said, he said, what's a trigger word? Because words, like, if we come on here and say faggot, it triggers people.
Ooh, what that's a cancel.
Jew. What do you say? Like it's like he said. So what the fuck are trigger words?
The other day I commented on the status about what Keith Lee saying Milwaukee had an underrated food scene. And I'm like, man, where the fuck y'all was eating at? Because I need to know the names of these places. I was like, I feel like
Milwaukee got some garbage ass food.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I think y'all got some underdeveloped palates. And somebody said, it really ain't no need for no disrespect on this status. I'm like, me saying underdeveloped palates is disrespect? Somebody see.
Oh, wow. She said underdeveloped. I disagree with both of y'all. I think it's some food here that you don't get from nowhere else, and when people leave and come back,
you ain't lied about that. You ain't lied about that.
I mean, it's a couple places.
Well, there's several if you think about it.
Rocky Rococo.
You already started.
That's like 3. That's about it.
If you people who I know from out of town who have lived here and have been here to visit say, dog, I want a Cop burger. They want to come here and get a burger from Cops, right?
Never. I ain't that shit.
Right. I've been going to Cops since I was 5 years old, and my brother just did it. The first thing he did when he got back from North Carolina, dog. And my niece said, "Is it a Rocky Rococo by your house?" Yup. So that's 2, right? There's people who come back and say, "I want to go to McBob's." There's people who say Speed Queen. Even though you talking about you, I'm not talking about you.
But I still feel like it's less than 10. It ain't more than 10.
You know what,
I think it's more than 10. I think it's more than 10.
You gotta be raised in Milwaukee for that type of shit. Like Cops is garbage, is overrated.
To
I
you.
don't like Culver.
To you.
Yes, to me.
To you.
Yes, to me.
Obviously,
yes,
Keith Lee disagrees with you. And a lot
I
of
don't
other
know where
people
he hate at. Talking about our scene is underrated. I mean,
I know people who drive all the way to the South Side to get a Ned's Pizza.
My mom was one of them. She's one of them.
So cousin,
but I know
you said you don't like cousin. I mean, he said he don't like Culver's. I fucking love Culver's, and there's people who come here and say this shit is delicious. So
Culver's is garbage.
But I also feel like we leave Milwaukee on the regular to go to Chicago just to eat. Niggas is always that right there tells me our food scene is not the best if we always leaving to go eat.
Some people do, some people don't. Some people go right down to Carson's. There's a lot of restaurants.
I ain't never been there.
See, once again, you can't. So then you can't have an opinion on it if you've never been.
I never went back. Like
it didn't. It's one of those places
been,
where I don't be like,
you've been, Courtney. He hasn't.
I go to Chicago a lot, so it ain't one of them places where I be like, oh, let me go down to Carson's. I be like, hell no. Let me see what Chicago got. I'll be on Instagram with all the restaurants in Chicago.
I've never,
like, to me, Atlanta ain't got no food, but Memphis is hot. Memphis got the best food.
I have never driven to Chicago specifically for food.
No,
never.
You do that one time.
No, well, hold on. First of all, my father lived in Chicago before he moved to Milwaukee. I had buku family in Chicago, so growing up, we went to Chicago, South Side, West Side, Chicago Heights. That's where we went, and we ate. So I know that I know about the food down there. I know they got some good places to eat. I took my son to AAU games in Chicago. We went to some nice places. What I'm saying is I've never gotten in my car and said, I'm going to drive to Chicago to eat. Like, there's people here who say the Cheesecake Factory.
That's my shit. I like the factory.
Well, they'll come home and say, man, I got to go to Cheesecake Factory. Like, there's places here. Now, we up to about 4-5 now, ain't we?
Cheesecake that's everywhere, though. Places that are everywhere.
Is that outside of Milwaukee? I don't know if that's outside of Milwaukee. I don't know.
They got Cheesecake Factories
everywhere.
Okay. I know people come here and they fiend for it. There's people who want to go to Elsa's. Elsa's
ain't got no wings no more, so niggas ain't tripping on that now.
Okay. So obviously you've been since I have.
White Castle in Kenosha.
Yeah, if I give you some back in our days, though, Mama Grant's, Shop Stacy's, QF&H's, yes. Now,
like the Ritz that was on Center, I fought with the Ritz. They could bring that back.
Yeah, Ritz. Yep, the Ritz. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit.
So you don't know about the hood spots the niggas love.
Well, we talk about what was on Capitol. So we went to Red Snapper.
Okay.
Red Snapper.
We went to Docks. We went to like Subs and stuff. Yeah, Capitol Court sitting there with a food court. So we didn't, wasn't no need for I'm gonna go all the way on to Rich. Like, no. Center Street Fish Market used to be a bomb. There's always been food here that people from here eat. I got brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws from Minnesota that come here and want to go to the ghetto hood country store to get the Magnolia breakfast sausages and all that because you can't find it up there. So, I mean, people from here are quick to put us down. I always find that funny. Like, people from here, like, man, fuck home. I'd love to go over there. Like, it's like, I disagree with you.
We ain't got the best like that. Our food scene ain't.
He said,
like, if somebody, like right now, Kev, but we have to go based off right now. Somebody asked me to recommend them some soul food, and I didn't have nowhere to recommend because I used to go to Skybox on Sundays, but now Skybox is closed. So where would you recommend somebody go get some soul food?
Tell them to go to Perkins on Capitol. It's still operating.
Good.
It's soul food. It used to be.
Some good soul food, Kev.
It used to be good. I grew up on Perkins. It was celebrities go there and eat. So
when, Kev? How long ago was that?
When the Bucks was in the finals, Charles Barkley went over there and got some chitlins.
How long ago was that?
4 years ago. That's too long.
It's the only place with some chitlins in the city. That's why.
Well, everything I put up, you go shoot it down.
But you don't mean the food good, Cam.
Obviously, I used to eat breakfast from there. It used to be delicious.
How long was that?
Yes, my whole life. Like you want me to go back?
When the last time you had breakfast there?
I don't know. It's been a while because I don't live down there no more. But if I still lived over there, I'd still go in there and give me a plate. If it was disgusting, I would call it. It ain't where it's at. It ain't where the building is located at. Like, like I said, some people swear by McBob's. Some people swear by Jake's, even though a lot of people now say Jake's has fallen off. But there's people who are from here and they'll go somewhere else and be like, it still ain't like, or how Jake's was. I don't, because Courtney gonna say, well, when the last time you ate that?
We got Deli 1614. I went there the other day and I don't even.
Always been good.
I ate that whole thing.
It's always been good.
Man.
It's black owned, right? And I used to, when I worked, any job I ever had that I worked downtown, boom, right there. Yeah. Deli all the time. So that's what I'm saying, man. A fat person know where the food is, right? Like you know where the good barbecue is, you know where the good wing. No, don't go over there. Come over here.
Right.
See, you put onions on it over here. So I don't like somebody. Why can't we get credit for something, man? Like why do black people gotta have? You said what you said on the post, but why can't we just say, okay, I can see that and keep it moving?
I just ask people to recommend some places. Everybody start getting butt hurt. Well, you just need to eat more. I'm like, I be out eating, but you recommend to me the places you think is fire. You know what I'm saying? Y'all underdeveloped. See, now you just, that ain't right. Talking about people. Like, what the fuck? See, never mind, niggas. See y'all. Oh, man. Crying and shit.
It's so easy to get away from what your triggers are, right? Because it's key to me, right? Jesse says, my nephews who are teens don't even listen to a lot of these artists. They listen to Kendrick, Larry June, and J. Cole. My son always got some auto-tune playing. Every time I talk to him on the phone, and he knows every word. And I just be looking at him. He be like, Dad, you got to listen at this. NBA Youngboy, he be barking on this one. And I'm never impressed. I'm always like, come on, man, it's too much auto-tune. Turn that shit off. And then when I play what I listen to, he be like, you like that? That is lame, Pop. So, that's how we go back and forth. He said, yeah, it varies by state. In some states, it's lower than others. I think he's talking about, what are we talking about? Food?
I don't know what we talking about.
We talk so much.
Right.
Shabaka said, any statues that are so ambiguous that cannot be understood by the common man are not statues. Dr. Huey Percy Newton. Shout out to Huey P. He ain't lying. I mean, listen, you're not going to get me to not question our justice system. Like that's because I believe on harsh punishment for certain crimes doesn't mean I don't accept the fact that our justice system is fucked off in a lot of aspects. But what country has a perfect justice system? It is literally man interpreting God's will. God is what they say. He's the judge, the jury, and the executioner. He's the one who decides who lives and who dies. He's the one who you look at and say, okay, well, what's my moral compass here? That's what you're supposed to get from being, spiritual and if you are religious, you're tranquil. You say, I'm about peace. I'm here to do my best and love other people. It ain't about I'm gonna whoop somebody's ass for Jesus. It's not about that. So when we say man-made laws, there are absolutely man-made laws, and there's absolutely laws that were made up in this country to specifically limit the mobility of foundational Black Americans. There I go. I said it. But that don't mean if you carjack a 60-year-old lady, run a red light, and hit a minivan and kill 2 kids, your ass don't deserve life behind bars.
Yeah.
Goodbye. I don't want to hear it. See, what happened was, now I don't want to hear your triggers then. See, you should have told me we should have talked about your triggers before that. So this shit wouldn't happen.
You remember dude, Lil Frank? I don't know if you was ever paying attention to
Lil rapper.
Frank.
Because we had Ken Black on here who absolutely roasted him on a video. Now, what was the details of this with him?
Huh?
What was the details of this? Was he like drunk in a stolen car or something?
No, he was out here doing some bullshit, and it seemed like he took one of his friends' cars and dipped off. So he had the keys and shit. He took the car, now you speeding in it, then he hit that lady that was newly pregnant, killed her. They just gave his ass, 40 years or something? 60, 40?
They gave him a football number. Yes, they did. No more Snapchat for you.
I know. This is a damn little friend. You was out here doing your little.
That was a little too sassy for me. See, that's
you know, we all found out that we never knew the whole time. He had a twin sister, and we like, oh, that explains that you've been acting like her. It was very strange, but when you realize he had a twin sister and then she looked like him or he looked like her, whichever. They might not even been twins, but it just kind of
way too sassy, Courtney. He was way too sassy. I couldn't.
He was trying to be like the twin.
I don't know what he was doing, but it was just too much. I brought Ken Black on the show because he made me laugh so hard when he was roasting this young brother, and he said he was a professional glizzy eater. Like he was like, one hot dog, no bun. Like, where's Ken Black now?
Damn.
He did a bunch of people. I had to bring him on. I don't know if other people ever brought him on. He was doing real good for a minute. I don't know. I don't see him anymore.
Where did he go?
I'm putting posts up, but he ripped it. Woo-wee, he hit that boy. But yeah, it's very sad, man. And see, what I read in the paper is that he was drunk and it was a stolen car.
Yeah, because he had stole his friend's car. Like they must have been kicking in. Next, he snatched him up with the keys and run out the house. And it's like,
did he have something with him too? Did he have like some? I think there's a whole story to this. It's just very, very sad, man. It's very sad.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very sad. Jesse says, "Rip Aaliyah. We were birthday twins. Oh Lord, man, please." We talked about Aaliyah the other night, man. I don't know if everybody can appreciate our angle, but hold on a second. I'm gonna get to that. Mama Jenkins, how you doing, Mama Jenkins? She said, "Good evening, my Outlaw families. What triggered me is these raggedy ass city leadership and these rude motherfuckers that answer the phone calls when you call for services. They better be glad it's not 1999, because felt like somebody was finna get smacked in 99. If it was 99, it was going down."
I be saying that all the time. Niggas lucky we ain't going back a couple years and less cameras and less digital shit. Oh, but it's real high tech now. It's all right.
He said, "Question, Outlaw, should I go to the casino tonight? Being broke is triggering me to gamble." See?
But if you're already broke, what we doing?
Yeah, they might not win.
Right. Like if we're already broke, let's not go there. Let's not.
Ain't that the trigger for a compulsive gambler? I'm broke and I'm still going.
Yeah.
Boys in the hood say, "Where y'all going?" "We finna go to the store." "You ain't got no money, so we going anyways." Q went and did damn near life or whatever he stole at that store. He didn't come back home to his fucking grown. Like, damn, what Q steal? You never ask yourself that question when you watch Boys in the Hood. Like, he was 8 years old, now he's 20. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Don't go, man. Don't go. He said, Ice Cube went off on that new Man Down album. That's what I'm talking about, man. The album is Ice Cube had the unfortunate experience of releasing on the same day that Kendrick Lamar had a secret album.
Damn.
GNX, which everything else was shut down. And Cube didn't. I know he looking like, "Ain't this a bitch? You like the mayor? You bullshit." He even knew. Like, but the album is, but I think you got to be of a certain age to understand it. Because even I seen young people, and that video, man, for My Ego should win a fucking award. Like, that shit look like you watching that. Like, what movie is this? I'm going to see this shit. But it's just a video.
He made me want to look at that shit.
It's hilarious. But he says on this song, he's addressing people in his Ice Cube way, saying, "Y'all shouldn't be worried about what I'm doing," because people saying, you too old or whatever. He like, you should be worrying about what kids is doing. But it's just it's a dope. You'll say this sound like the old school Ice Cube if you listen to this. The only thing I said was I was a little thrown off by Cube leaned on Crippin' on this album.
There's plenty of blue going on. That's right.
Yeah, but he talks about Crip walking, and he says Crip. I've never heard Cube say Crip.
Ain't that like GD to the world blow up? Ain't that the same?
Well, hold on. Y'all both spoke at the same time. What you say, Courtney?
I said, ain't that like GD to the world blow up? Ain't Crips and G's? Ain't it all blue?
No. There's a difference between Crips and GD.
Ain't like cousins?
Big difference between Crips and GD. Yeah.
Oh.
Dion, you asked me what?
She threw me off with that bullshit right there.
My bad. I thought blue was blue. I thought everybody was related with the blues. No.
What I was about to say, Maybe you probably misunderstood him though, because remember his guy Doug, he is a Crip dog.
This I know, and once again, my best friend Roger Zeladon is from South Central Los Angeles, and because of Zelly, I am so familiar with the gangs of South Central Los Angeles. Like Zell's names every set, I'll say, where did this happen in LA? That's over on 63rd or 25th. That's them neighborhood brims. Like he names every gang in the area. So he's explained to me Cube's Crip affiliation. I understand that. But he never said Crip. He would not. I never heard Cube say, I've heard him use Bloods and Crips, this kind of thing. Talking about gang banging, but not in a claiming it sort of a way. So, because he has a verse where he said, this is cuz and happiness. So tell Al Green to pass the grits, which I thought was hilarious if you know what happened to Al Green with hot grits. But he said it's cuz and happiness. I said, oh, I caught that because I know that's what Crips say to each other. What up, cuz? Right? It's like, you have to know. But other than that, the album, man, I just go check it out if you're an old fogey like myself. You'll love it. You'll love it. He said, y'all have White Castle. No, we don't have. We used to have White Castle a very long time ago.
We got one in Kenosha.
It
never held on in Milwaukee. Where you say it's at? Kenosha?
Kenosha.
Yeah,
right next
to Highway 50.
Okay.
Yeah, right by the Texas Roadhouse. Our Raising Cane's out there.
Yeah.
What's Raising Cane's right here on Capitol now?
It was before, that one when niggas was still going far. And you like, damn, we got a White Castle.
I don't fuck with
for some
like
chicken
Chick-fil-A and Raising Cane's. Yeah, for some chicken fingers.
Chick-fil-A's chicken strips suck. It's sweet. I don't like sweet chicken, sweet fried. That's not cool for me.
That doesn't sound.
Man, I'm glad you ain't say sweet meat.
Well, there's no need for me to say nothing like that.
I'm irritated.
I said,
man, I don't like no sweet meat.
It's somebody in the corner waiting for you to say some shit like, watch Kim. You finna say it, dog. Like,
Then I say, Dion waiting on niggas downfalls.
I made a mistake. I was on the phone. I was in the room with my brother and my cousin and my niece. And, my brother and me and my cousin, we all old heads, but my niece is probably 30, right? Like she's 30 years old. But they said, well, what y'all do for Thanksgiving, right? And I said, man, I fired up the grill. And I said, I go hard on some meat. And everybody in the room just started laughing. And I realized what I said and I couldn't do nothing, right? I was like, no. They're like, man, don't say that. Don't say that no more. Don't ever say that. That nigga said I go
hard on some meat. Yeah, that was tough right there.
I was just trying to say I'm good at grilling, man.
You should have took a nap.
They sure got on my heels. Let me see. Mama Jenkins said I still go to Ned's once a month for pizza. See, that's the point. See, he said Milwaukee's food scene is underrated. So if you're a person who's from here, then you understand. Like people, brats, my brother go to North Carolina, he's barbecuing, he's like, I do brats. They don't get brats out there. They going crazy. Like, man, what is these? They brats. I ain't never had one of these folk, right? Like, so I'm just saying it's
I know it's like that with our corned beef for sure. My homeboy moved to Atlanta and I think maybe he made something for his girl somebody bust out with a truck or was bringing them to somebody's job and people was ordering like crazy because it's not a normal thing down there like it is here. We get used to certain shit, corned beefs everywhere and everybody ain't got that shit.
Mama Jenkins, I'm with you because when I grew up, Ned's Pizza was on Villard. And I'm talking about good Lord, man. When my daddy would say, y'all want a pizza? We damn near started butterflying. Me and my brother, we excited. He's going to order a large with all this stuff on it and garlic bread. It took 9 years to come. Don't get me wrong. But, man, that shit used to be so good. You'd be like,
you like olives on your shit?
I do. I does.
Me too.
On your mushroom. Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Got to put the pepperoni and the sausage on there, man. That's a Milwaukee combo. Sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, and onions. That is a Milwaukee pizza. A lot of places people don't. Hey, it's delicious, as white people say. Delicious. Mama Jenkins said there's places to eat in Milwaukee. Exactly.
And there are.
I agree.
I mean, there's nothing that I'm just. It's a couple places that I'm craving for. Like, you still ain't had no upper yard, huh? Is that what you said?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've eaten there, but I prefer Fireside up here on Capitol.
Oh yeah,
that's upper yard take too long for your food.
Too long. That's why
you gotta order upper yard.
Oh my mama, you can order that. You could call right now and pick that shit up Thursday, and it still ain't done.
Sometimes it be like that. It's like, folks, I ordered this 30 minutes ago. Why is it not ready?
Well, I waited 30 minutes after I ordered it. Then I showed up and waited 30 more minutes. There used to be a barbecue place in Milwaukee for years and years and years, and I can't remember what it was named. It was over there off Hopkins.
Where was that?
It was over there.
Barbecue Unlimited. Oh, that was
what it was? It ended up burning down, right? Like,
yeah, right there on the corner.
I'm telling you,
they had the links and tips.
You could you could order, and you would go there, and it'd be so many people in the lobby and outside in the parking lot. They take forever, and just when you just as pissed as you can be, you get home and taste some of that shit. You be like,
hell yeah. Those is garbage. I don't like them. They be having an attitude.
Yeah,
they be having an attitude and shit. Yeah.
And see, a lot of places.
Got attitude, I'm spending money.
A lot of places are gone. Like George Webb's. How the George Webb's used to be set up, and the food used to be good back in the days. It's kind of strange now.
It was overrated.
What's the place over there down in the hood where everybody would go down there off Keith? The
QF&H.
No, not QF&H. I remember when that closed.
Bungalow? No.
What'd you say it was?
Bungalow?
The Bungalow. Yeah, people used to go there. They used to have good soul
overrated, greasy ass food.
Well, soul food is greasy though. Dion, have you ever seen a neck bone that wasn't greasy? Like you keep saying greasy.
That shit was horrible though. They the only ones. They still open though.
I know that one brother killed the other brother. It was like a whole thing.
He killed him upstairs and shit.
Yeah, because I guess this dude was Gator from the Spike Lee movie off crack, and he just had just. And I'm going off the newspaper saying like he actually had been like abusing their elderly parents who had started the restaurant, kind of was still alive, and they was scared of him. He had assaulted them and shit. Like, so I guess dude said, "I'm gonna do the Lord's work." Shabaka said, I don't eat hog guts. Once again, it's a conversation I was just having with my brother the other day. And for the most part, I see what y'all saying about chitlins. And I understand. I see all the people who post and all this. But if my mama was still alive and she cooked chitlins on the regular, if she cooked some chitlins, I would eat them tonight. I would get a bowl and some hot sauce, and I would get busy. Because my mother was.
Tripe? Is tripe stomach lining? What is tripe?
Tripe is, I think that is, but I never liked the tripe. I didn't do the snout, like wouldn't do the feet, wouldn't do the tail. But my mother, I never would do the tongue. My father would do head cheese. He would do head cheese where he would boil the meat off the head and grind it up and make, hog head cheese, which used to be delicious, as white people say again.
He made it himself. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, my people was Mississippi for real. Like they wasn't playing. My people was Mississippi. My people was so country. Any patch of dirt around your house is a garden. There's something growing there. Tomatoes, peppers, onion. My mother would be like, go outside and look by the gate. I got some onions planted, and bring me one of them onions. You're like, okay, you go out there. She got some. Mama, when you plant these? Shit, I plant them every year. Like, that's my mom. So my people's country, man. They didn't play. Shabaka said a motherfucker offered me chitlins. I'm considered an insult. I don't, like I said, my mom. I don't consider it an insult. It's something that we grew up eating. It was. I'm glad black people now are because our relationship with pork has changed. Period. Right? Because once again, the country people from down there, like we ate pork. They made pork sausage, pork chops,
all type of shit. Hell yeah,
cracklings.
Yeah,
they made what you call it, pork roast, like ham. The pig was in the house. My father would butcher a pig in the basement and make pork chops like this thick, and you just go down there and get a couple pork chops out. We had like 3 freezers in our house. Why you think me and my brother so damn big? That's what I'm saying. Like both of us was huge. Dion said, let me get out on this highway, man. Okay. Well, Dion,
I'm back now. I had lost you for a minute because I had to. It's certain areas is real wide open and shit. and my phone will go from 5G to LTE. So that means it be roaming sometimes, and it just, I don't know, it just don't act right.
It's cool. I'm behind in the chat room too, as people so eloquently point out. True be told, we do need a soul food restaurant here. Call the church folks. I bet they know where to go eat on Sundays after church.
There's eat some nasty food. I know somebody, one of my kids' dad, uncle. I seen him. I was going to Sherman Park grocery. I was looking for some tea. And they didn't have none. So I'm walking back out because they ain't had what I wanted. He got some bags. I'm like, hey, what you doing? He's like, man, best soul food in the city. I'm like, they got some dressing. He best dressing you ever had. So I go back in. I get a plate, get some macaroni, get some dressing. Yeah, that shit was not good. Hell no. Definitely wasn't the best. It wasn't good at all. It was like, what the fuck is this, man? So people, them underdeveloped taste buds. Talking about this the best dressing.
You talking about the black-owned grocery store? They sell that in there? I didn't know they sold hot food.
Yeah, they got a little hot kitchen. You know who had the best soul food? All the hood spots, Lena's, when they had a buffet. And Lena's then it was Piggly Wiggly because it went over there.
Yeah.
I think it's at Gallus right now. I think they put it back, but that used to be a fire buffet.
It was fire. You are on point 100%, because when Lena's took the old coals, I know we on food, y'all. This is what it is. It's Outlaw Radio, so forgive me. We're gonna get back to you being triggered in a minute.
Look, we triggered about this food.
Right. Yeah, that's a trigger. That's why people weigh 500 pounds, right? Like, food. What's that frying? What's that cooking? Motherfucker go into mode. But no, Lena's, when they moved in on Capitol, they had taken the old coals. Man, the hot food in there. You go in there on a Sunday. I mean, it'd be so many people in there, and then know they all just got out of church because they got women.
Midtown too.
And then Midtown, when they became Piggly Wiggly, I'm talking about. Well, I'm talking about. I shouldn't have said that. I mean, on East Capitol when it was Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Because I never ate from the one in Midtown. I never ate hot food.
Never. Yeah. They had what? Motherfucking chicken be so hot. They put it in the styrofoam. It melt. God damn it, that shit be so hot. Yeah, they have good. You're right, Courtney. I agree with you on that one.
They was so good on East Capitol. Me and my wife started meeting up for lunch at that mug. Like, man,
I bet you just grab some macaroni and love, man. That's
man, fire.
Hell yeah, that macaroni was good.
Man, all that food, man.
So are they in Gauss now? Did they move? Are they anywhere? Or
shout out to Rick Muhammad, who is very close to that family. I don't know that they are still even in the grocery business. I think that Piggly Wiggly was one of the remaining sons of the family who started it. And I would have to ask Muhammad to clear that up for me because he worked with them and he knows them. He's very familiar. But from what he told me, that was one of the brothers who still wanted to be in the business, and he had some dealings with a deal with Piggly Wiggly. It didn't last, right? So that's like what, Marshall's now on East Capitol? It didn't even last.
I thought it was Burlington.
Is it Burlington? Yeah, one of them. I don't get it.
It was Piggly Wiggly in Wauwatosa up on Upper North, 124th and North, and that shit closed too.
Okay.
It's no longer there. I'm like, damn. So maybe
I mean, we had the one not Stella J's, but it was Stella J's right on Capitol.
Yeah. Ain't that Fireside now?
Yes, Fireside now. Just that's what I was going to say. It was. I went in there a couple times.
What in Capitol?
It was right on 76.
Across from that where Checkers at. It was right in that little plaza thing.
It's in that little it's a bit. You'd be like, where am
I? Oil change place.
Yeah. You always be like, it used to be a pizza place back in the day. We always rode past it. I don't think black people ate there. What was it? I can't remember the name of it. He said I was talking about the age of consent. Okay, my bad. He said I'm late on the comments. Yeah, I am. That's what he meant when he said it's different in some states. That age is. He said FBA is the moral compass of this country, Kev. Are we? Ooh, that's a crazy statement.
We shouldn't be.
What about us? Because I don't know that we have a moral compass in a lot of cases. I hear more black people now talking about they don't believe in God than ever. Black people now tell me quick, ain't no Jesus, ain't no God. I'm like, boy, my grandmother would have slapped the hell out of you. Like, don't you blaspheme. You got hit with all
They were indoctrinated to believe that, though, Kevin.
Hey, it might be true, but I know my grandmother.
Very true, Kevin.
Right. You see here, I see my name. Come on, Kevin. Right. You know your grandmother, Kevin. Right. My grandmother was in her 90s, and she told me she had seen some things in her life that let her know beyond a shadow of a doubt, she was convinced that there was a God in heaven. She told me, she said, in my long years of living, I've seen too many miracles that nobody else could have performed except for God. And so I said, well, if it's like that, Grandma, I'm riding with you. And I can say I've seen some things in my life that you just can't explain. You say, whoa, oh, how did that happen? I believe in God. So, and I'm not indoctrinated like that. I mean, you people say, Kev, use a PK. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I was indoctrinated. I've had opportunities to look in other places. So I still haven't said, I'm crossing over. I'm going to become Muslim. I'm going to become a Buddhist. Like, I just feel like if you don't believe in something, you're dangerous. Because if you don't believe in something, you got to believe in something. You got to believe in something. Because if you don't, then you'll do damn near anything, right?
But if it ain't no logical, if it ain't no logical proof that this existence is true, then it's just basically a belief.
And you entitled to whatever, and you entitled to whatever yours is. So if you don't agree with me, you're entitled to not. Like, I'm not. One thing I'm not doing is I'm not selling it. It's for me. Right?
I agree.
You say I don't want none of that. I'll be like, I wasn't gonna give you none anyways. Y'all been eating something and somebody said, I don't eat that. You be like, good, motherfucker.
I'm like, okay.
Man, I don't like that. You be like, okay, thanks for telling me.
Right.
That's why I didn't order you none. Right?
I think religion was one of the things that hindered us because we still talking about forgiveness and all this old bullshit. You know, we don't have that killer instinct in us like we should. Because maybe if we did, motherfuckers wouldn't be stepping on us and not having respect for us like they should.
Like somebody should have choked out that white man on the plane that was choking out that black man. Like somebody should have kicked him in his fucking face. Like what the fuck be wrong with us that we just don't be doing shit? Like just be letting shit happen, just stand there watching and recording. Somebody kick him in his fucking face. I would have kicked him.
Are we talking about what happened in New York with the white boy just got the charges dismissed, Daniel Penny?
Yeah,
I was accused by a white person of saying that I was so off on our Kamar and I was so off on our take of what happened, but I don't give a fuck. You know, I mean,
who said that though?
Well, you know, what white boy stalks us? Like, you know,
that man calls that man deaf regardless of whatever. Exactly. He ain't no motherfucking cop or no police.
That was the whole point.
If a black man would have did the same exact thing, they'd be like, he should have never interfered. He's not the cop. He wasn't trained for that. That's why I swear to God. Like, I can't read them comments because I get blocked. Like, I hate them motherfuckers, bro. You just don't know. Like, I can't stand them. I hate them. I really do. Because everything in their world is just okay for them. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's why I couldn't take dude, motherfucking buck ass and ass, giving every excuse for this bitch ass dude is about to be in the White House instead of just saying, like, you know what it is.
Dion,
you know what I'm saying?
You're being triggered right now.
He's triggered, man.
I hear your voice going up. Right. Like, look, hold on. You know what this is? This is the thing. I've worked with young people, right, who had like anger management issues, right? And I was like their therapist / counselor. So I'd be watching them, and this is at St. Charles. And what I was instructed to do was when he starts to escalate, you have to have him start to breathe. So I say, Jalen, you're doing it. Count down with me. 10, 9, 8. Sometimes you be like, KB, fuck that shit. But
like but for real,
but don't listen. You can't allow him to get you like that, man. You can't allow him to get you like that. You give him ammunition.
I don't think it's even really about him though. It just be about you lying and you sitting up here like just say for instance with the Project 2025 thing. It said that's just like reading the Bible. And in the Bible, it says Satan, 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 Satan. And the motherfucker said, it didn't say that. I'm reading in the Project 2025 where it says Trump, Donald J. Trump, Donald J. Trump, Donald J. Trump. Oh, no, it doesn't mean that. What? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's like pissing in your face and telling you
if you know it to be fact, why would you get upset about it? If you know what you read, why would anybody be able to get you upset about it? Instead of just saying, all right, okay.
Go fuck him up. I'm gonna punch him in that goddamn stupid ass mouth.
And before you knock him out, he's not gonna say you was right and fall out. He's when he wake up, he's not gonna say, I'm doing what Dion said now because he whooped my ass. He's not a child. He's still going. He's gonna believe what he's gonna believe.
Yeah, it don't even be. It's like I said, it's just really not about him. It's just about everything that was at stake and you know the history of us, you know, like the other day, the black guy was talking about what happened in New York, like we talking about, and then you go in the comments, the white folks, oh, you're race baiting, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like white folks would definitely give their self all the cushion in the world, but when it come to us, oh my God, like with George Floyd, that man kneeled on that man's neck and died. No matter if George Floyd was shooting heroin when the police pulled him up. The heroin wouldn't have killed him if he would have never sat on his neck. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he died. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he had this in him and he was under the influence and you know what I'm saying? Every excuse but saying he kneeled on his neck, cut off his wind for 9 minutes. That would definitely kill you.
With the Daniel Penny thing, I thought Kamar put it best, and our discussion came to the racial connotations attached to this, because obviously here's a white man taking a black man's life, but there's no law that says it's wrong to kill a black man. There's no law that says it's wrong to kill a white man. The law says it's wrong to kill a man. And so in this instance is why the charges shouldn't have been thrown out, because he indeed did take this man's life. So it shouldn't be about, oh, he had threatened all of the passengers. I was saving people. Well, no, you actually wasn't. You just, and remember this footage was out here where he actually was holding him and people were saying, let him go. Now, once again, this is where I agree with Courtney at. How come somebody didn't get up and just kick the shit out of dude? And he's not a cop. Y'all standing there with your phones out.
Yeah.
Like with George Floyd, he was a cop. So people were like hesitant, right? What's my boy name in New York who's selling the loose cigarettes? I can't remember his name.
Eric
Garner. People was like, oh shit, this is a cop. So they was kind of hesitant. This dude wasn't no cop. He just regular Jimmy Neutron.
Exactly.
The chokehold
was illegal. Wasn't it?
Yes. Well, he was a Marine, and he was taught this restraint in the Marines. And they add Marine because he's a patriotic American trying to save all these good people. So it's bullshit.
But I think with a black and white thing came in, because our life holds no value. Like with George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin. Like, you chased this man down. And sometimes I wonder if the shoe was on the other foot of Trayvon when he got his gun away from him and killed him when he had been free. That stands your ground. You know what I'm saying? See, that's where we get upset at. And that's when I hear people say stupid shit. It triggers me because I know for a simple fact that it's because we black and they do not value our life. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Like the one guy, I can't think of his name. The guy, what's his name? Ben Crump. He said when it come to every other, you want to see the police anytime a white man do some shit, they have all the motherfucking restraint in the world. But let it be one of us, nigga. They gonna blow our motherfucker. A white man could be reaching for his gun, up his gun, shoot him and everything. He ain't firing one shot off. He retreating to the car, talking about shot fired. Us, look what they did to Philando Castile. The man said he had a fucking gun, wasn't posing no threat, shot and killed that man.
Dion.
Yes.
If you're not gonna do nothing about it, why you getting so upset? You're wasting energy.
Because we want to do something. That's the thing.
When you hear people minimize it.
Well, I'm asking you.
It wasn't like that.
I'm asking you a question. Like even if they say that, right? Why am I gonna get mad because somebody who I've never seen and never met had an opinion on something that I've already made my mind up about? Why would I get mad?
This is supposed to be our weapon. This is supposed to be our weapon right here. This is what our weapon is. Well, we're gonna go to the polls. Look what going to the polls got us. You know what I'm saying?
Won't get an argument on that from me.
You know what I'm saying?
Once again, I just said.
Like, what are we going? I just said
our justice system is flawed. Nobody's arguing. Nobody's here for you to even debate with on that.
Like, I know, but what are we gonna do before we start acting out in violence? We've been accepting this for so long. It's just a slap in the face. Oh, we gonna pray. Oh, and then we gonna march. You know what I'm saying? Like Jeff Ford said, he told them people, he said, ain't gonna be no killing without killing. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I think that we don't act like that is because No. Okay. Jeff Ford, they gave him 80 years because he was going to blow up
well, he was going to be, they was going to blow up. They was going, they bought years ago. They bought rocket launchers from Gaddafi and was going to shoot down commercial planes. Like,
that's motherfucker, right? Niggas got to do something. Shit.
Okay. But listen, I think that if we did, see, the problem is in the white people bitch because they got the police. Let it be martial law. Y'all kill one of us, we kill one of you. It ain't nobody needs to go to jail. Nothing needs to happen, and we gonna see who gonna outlast this shit. Let's do it like that. Since y'all want to play the game like that, y'all got the law on y'all side, even with the police too. Let's stop. We don't need to have none of that. Let all the brothers out of jail and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not have martial law. Let's not have martial law. How about that? How about you leave me alone? I'll leave you alone. How about I mind my business?
It ain't gonna happen like that.
It's been happening for the last 50 years of my life. I ain't had to shoot. Listen, we can talk, and I'm not, because I don't believe in knocking on wood. I believe in God. I've had some negative experience with cops, but the cops who I've had the most negative experiences with were black. So, hold on. Listen, hold on. Let me finish. I've had white officers pull me over. I got pulled over in Menominee Falls. Had just bought an AK-47 from Fleet Farm in the back of my truck. And I did, because I'm like a kid with a new toy, right? I'm in the car before I pull off. I got to pull it out again and look at it like, ooh, this motherfucker cold. It wasn't even covered up, right? Now, I had a ticket on my plates for parking in a handicap spot and forgot about it. So when this cop pulled me over, my plates was good. My license are good. I just left Fleet Farm. The gun is good, whatever. But when he walked up to the car, you know what I was? I was cordial. I wasn't, motherfucker, what you put me? It's some bullshit because I'm a nigga. That situation could have got 10 times worse. So sometimes cooler heads prevail. Now, and that's why when white people say, well, why don't you just comply? Because sometimes when we as men of color comply, we still get murdered. Like you mentioned, Philando Castile and all this kind of thing. But there's no absolutes here. There's no every white cop you ever pull up that's going to pull you over is going to kill you. There's no every black man is a killer and a criminal. There's no absolutes. Shit happens. What can you say? I'm not making an excuse for them. I guess my point is I'm not going to ever get so mad about that where I wreck my own shit. I'm about to take me a gun. I'm about to go kill me a few cops. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna move in a different way. And I think we all should. And you can't blame. First of all, never doubt the power of prayer. That is whatever you call it. If you call it meditation, if you call it whatever you call it, if you get on your knees and pray to God, you'd be surprised. You can get some results. I've prayed on some stuff before. It said, whew. Now, some people say maybe it was going to happen anyways. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I don't know. I know sometimes when I didn't pray and something happened. And sometimes when I did pray and then nothing happened. So pros and cons. What's in it for me? Jesse said, yeah, Crip was hella cripping on this album. And JD from the Lynch Mob, who was a Crip, was on it too. He just got out the pen. Yeah, JD did a long time for a Homicide. He is on there. Said, cuz and happiness. That was my favorite line on the song Ego. You sound like you might be Crip leaning, right? He said they was Crip rocking into my ego music video too, wearing all blue from head to toe. Yeah, Cube got on a blue fur. Like he has on a blue mink. He said one of my favorite soul food restaurants just reopened after like 2-3 years. We called Welton Street Cafe. It used to have slow service like the place you were describing. Said, facts, Kev, I would too if my grandma was still alive. I think he's talking about eating them chitlins. I'm telling you, my mom's used to hook them chitlins up. I know we supposed to be in a better place right now as people. My mother used to have it cracking. Now, when she was cleaning them, we'd be like, oh, that smells so bad. It smells so bad. But when she got them joints in that pot cooking, hey
you know what, though? That just show you how an indoctrination is, because I wonder why we don't eat cow gut. We don't eat cow intestines.
I think that might be tripe. I think beef is that because I think somebody look up tripe.
No.
Let me look.
Yeah, they got
tripe.
the same intestines a pig got.
Let me see.
We don't eat goat intestines.
Somebody might eat it though, Dion. You don't know. I think do they make?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Somebody might eat. Say I don't eat chitlins. I eat beef chitlins. That
was a good one.
Because people say I don't eat ribs. I eat beef ribs. Tripe is the lining of beef, hog, or sheep's stomach. Although most sold is from beef. Okay, so I was right. That's basically tripe. Beef chitlins. Tripe. Even when I eat pho, though, I don't eat tripe. I tell them don't put the tripe in there. Like I don't eat.
What is pho? What the hell? What is that?
Pho is Vietnamese soup.
Oh wow! I ain't never had nothing like that.
Oh yeah, they got Milwaukee got some great pho places, man. Right up here in Brookfield, Pho 124, and then there's another one. Man, you talking about natural where you get all of the vegetables and all that stuff to go right in there and just pho is the bomb. You guys, I don't know if you like it because I don't know if you I don't know if you eat any foreign foods. That shit. My brother,
I fuck with Thai food. I love some Thai.
Well, this
I like
is Vietnamese.
Ethiopian food.
This is Vietnamese, so it's all the same, really. It's all along the same lines.
Don't get me wrong. I eat up some different shit.
He said, "Why do people who don't eat chitlins feel the need to tell the world they don't? Just don't eat them and keep it moving." That's Ewok. Shout out to Ewok in the chat room. Because people like I see and Aaron Brown, crazy ass, him and OJ with this McRib joint, and people are like got an opinion about the McRib. Like I haven't eaten a McRib since I was a young kid, but I'm not gonna shit on somebody because they eating a McRib though. Like, I'm finna go give me a McRib. Like, oh, okay, you like them? Because I like to go to Portillo's and get Italian beef sandwiches. A lot of people be like, oh man, you eat that, Kev? You eat that, man? I love Italian beef sandwiches, especially hot.
Yeah, I love it too.
Hot peppers and dry. Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
And I found
out the other day that I can't eat no Italian beef from nowhere but Chicago.
And see, I'd rather go to Portillo's because they got the double bubble.
And I can't, even in Chicago, I can't because I went by my girl house and it's a Mexican restaurant over there. And I try to eat Italian beef. Fuck that. I got to get mine from an Indian, from the Arab. Hey, buddy, give me Italian beef dip with everything on it.
See, my dad knew all these places in Chicago, man. And the neighborhood would be looking like, me and my brother be sitting in the car looking like, where the hell we at? But this would be like real Italians. Yeah. This would be Italians cooking the shit like they, and so they would have the Italian sausage and the shaved beef in there with it, the combo. And it used to be stupid. We used to be. That's what I'm saying. And Chicago dogs, like I'll tear a Chicago dog up. Young cat say you eating a glizzy.
You ever had a cannibal sandwich?
No, I don't do raw meat. That's some Wisconsin shit. I don't do that. I don't do the raw meat.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesse says she used to cook the best. He's talking about his grandma. He said she used to cook the best chitlins, especially around the holidays. He said we had a deep freezer too growing up. Yeah, man. Country folks had multiple freezers, man.
Hell yeah, you buy half a cow, half a pig.
Butcher that shit right in the basement. My pops would take a hatchet and a hacksaw to that shit. We were so bad. We had a room in the basement where it'd be a ham hanging and some potatoes on some newspaper on the floor and onions.
For real?
Come on, man. My mother be like, take this butcher knife, go downstairs and cut me a piece of that ham off. I'm finna cook some greens. And if you didn't slice a big enough piece off, she send your ass back down there. Or she'd be like, go down there and cut me a piece of that ham and bring it up here. She slice it up and hook it up so we could eat sandwiches or something. Yeah, man, my parents was for real country. I tell people all the time, man, my mother killed chickens in the garage, man, and gutted them and defeathered them and fried that shit. What you talking about?
Mom was down.
Yeah, mom's and pops.
Yeah, they was from the country, but they left that shit behind in Chicago. We ain't never did no shit like that. At least that I can remember a child growing up.
Yeah. See, I think my parents is probably your grandparents' age. So, yeah, so they was
my grandfather was born in 1925. Well, he would have been 100 next year.
My pops was born in 1935. So it's in that same, same
generation.
He
would have been 90 next year.
Yeah, he would have. Earl Henny said it was great sisters cooking that food. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He said no to jail food. Yeah, it was some people say you put some love. People put love in the food, man. I don't know. It was just different. Like that food used to be.
It was.
Man,
it was.
And you would be like, yo, I just can't. You can't find that taste. That I think for Black people, when we talk about fast food restaurants, that's probably the most disappointing aspect of it. Is you say soul food. I'm expecting this to taste like the food my mom and them used to cook, not understanding that all those recipes was somewhat different. Like your mother might have used a little bit more of this and a little bit less of that. Like, you know, that's why we go to the church after church when they have everybody bring the food and it's the potluck. Certain shit, me and my brother wouldn't eat. We look at it and say, that mama didn't cook that. That's not mama dressing. So, you know, that's our country we are. Jordan Neely is the young brother who was killed by the white boy in New York. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sonia Massey. That's another sister being murdered.
I heard they let the police out to kill her.
They did.
That's smack in the face again.
Yes, sir. He said, rest in peace, Eric Garner. I still have my Can't Breathe from TV from 2014 poster.
Don't forget Walter Scott. They shot him in the back. What was that, North Carolina? He was running from the police.
Because he had child
support. If they wouldn't have caught it, if they wouldn't have caught it on film, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, during that time, as they say, Obama, you know, because, you know, like I listen, I'm like you said, the Pie World, you know, you hear Roland and other people talk. They was like, when Obama was in office, you know, there was police was out here just going crazy on motherfuckers. Look at Tamir Rice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it was just
and the police,
a 15-year-old killed in Ohio over the weekend.
Wow, I didn't even hear about that one.
Yeah, Akron, Ohio. Yep.
Ohio, they caught a body up here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Columbus. That's what I was finna say. What happened to the cops who killed the homeless individual? See, listen, once again, that's why people blame certain presidents and they talk about, you know, this person was better than that person. We had it better under this person. But this shit is going on under every president. The same things have gone on under every president in terms of things that are counterproductive for foundational Black Americans. That's why I'm neither Democrat nor Republican, because it's all the same shit, right? It doesn't trigger me. It does not trigger me. Ewok, shout out to you. He said dudes like Orlando are dangerous because they will defend and lie for white people. That's why I called his ass despicable. He is a willing tool for trying to get others to believe his bullshit. Okay. T-shirt, not TV. He said I thought I seen TV in there, but T-shirt. We got you. I Can't Breathe T-shirt. He said, I actually agree with Dion on this. I'm tired of marching and protesting. Enough is enough of this madness. He said, yep, I had that happen to me at age 11. Police had AK-47 pointed at me in the housing projects I was living in after one of my neighbors got murdered a few days prior, Kev. He said, Philando, rest in peace, Philando Castile, that was my homie's cousin. I was asking about tripe. He said, this is Earl saying it was stomach before I Googled it. He said, we have pho out here in Denver. I love it. Trio Cal, is that? Oh, shit. Here go my vision again. Trio Call. He's speaking to the Juice Lady. He said, hey, Juice Lady. Juice Lady, them your people? I don't know if she's still listening. She had to step away. He said, yeah, punk-ass Sean Grayson, Dion.
Right.
Rip Walter Scott, Terrence Crutcher, Tamir Rice.
Sandra Bland.
Breonna Taylor. Jalen Walker was killed in Akron last year as well. Right. That's why I'm independent, Kev. Okay, so I'm caught up with the chat room. Look, we had this, and this is getting weirder and weirder, y'all. This dude who killed the United Healthcare CEO. What was his name? Shit. I can't even read my own damn writing. The CEO from United Healthcare was murdered.
His name was Luigi something, wasn't it?
No, that's the killer. Luigi Maggioni or something like that. Thompson, I think his name was, from what I can see on my notes. His last name was Thompson. Brian Thompson. He was murdered by this. We all seen this footage in New York of the CEO of United Healthcare, which is basically $1 billion big firma. Probably D1, one of the biggest rackets when it comes to this whole thing. Juice Lady, you had somebody hollering at you. I know this your people.
I knew you was gonna go back to that. I seen it. I seen you.
I didn't know.
He be acting funny. You lucky niggas be shooting their little shot at your kid.
No, I thought it might be her people or something. Like, I don't know. Shit, I'm just trying to,
You had already went past it, Kev. I seen you go past it.
Okay. I didn't know. So let me because this is very interesting, y'all. This is crazy. And I don't know what kind of legs this has. I just seen this before the show, and I put this in the People's News Network. Let me go to the People's News Network because it is very, 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 very crazy.
So it ain't the dude that paid for the banana for 6.5.
That shit is a distraction. That's a distraction. Don't get caught up with that shit, Kev. Fuck that CEO that got killed.
Before you even say that, listen at it. Listen at what I'm about to tell you about this, right? Right. His name was Luigi Mangione, right?
I got from Mario.
Yeah, and so our friend who's been on the show, Aisha Carr, says that she just seen him in Tulsa on 12/4, and he helped her out with some legal briefs, and he actually spent the night with her.
What? That shit creepy now.
That's what I'm saying. So
he spent the night.
Well, now see, but then I see where Joseph Walker, he put this. I don't know if this is Aisha saying he was in Milwaukee on 12/4 at 6:45 a.m. holding that day's newspaper by the big orange thing. Where's that at? Is that in Milwaukee? I don't know. So I'm saying, so this dude was in Milwaukee, and so they said they found. This is Aisha Carr who said this. This is that's why I put it up.
She going through some shit though. She might be delirious.
Well, no, she said he.
All white folks look the same.
This is her. She said he's her friend.
She know they.
She don't get herself in trouble.
That's what she's saying. They framing Luigi. That's what she's saying.
I don't know what it is. I'm just reading what she put up. I want to read her exact post.
Yeah.
I can't spell her damn name because I'm illiterate.
I'm trying to find Aisha Carr with friends. Let me go to her.
She should have left that alone.
That's what I was saying. Why would she? If I wouldn't even put that up.
That ain't even the same guy. It don't look like.
I wouldn't even put that up. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, she should have left. Cam on the real.
It's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah,
because you hearing about this case, you ain't thinking nothing about somebody. He was in Milwaukee, or I could have swore. I wanna pull it back up. I'm just freaking out right now because I put it in the People's News Network. I'm not seeing.
Cam, I think it's a joke.
Is that what it was?
I think it's some bullshit. Because, like I said, the original post said, "Man, I just seen him in Tulsa on 12/4," and then she like, "I just seen him in Tulsa on 12/4."
Right? No, this is what she said. I don't know if she got hacked because people can get hacked, right? I'm looking. This is her account. I'm looking at. It said, "What's crazy is he was actually here in Milwaukee with me all day on 12/4/24, helping me prepare for court. He even stayed overnight and joined me and my peoples in court the following day." That's what she said, allegedly. This is what her post says. Okay, I didn't read the comments, y'all. Okay, this ain't as weird. She said, somebody said, for real, she said, "I'm riding this wave. Sadly, my experience with United Healthcare at a time when I desperately needed care and needed for costly medical expenses to be covered was horrible. I filed bankruptcy for medical debt and losing fights with the insurance company. While I would never condone any act that results in someone losing their life, I do believe this is a deep one that exposes the corporate greed of the healthcare industry and also exposes them for the costly and dangerous games they play with people's lives."
Right. So they all just saying like they his alibi, just like Earl Hennon just said. I saw him at Italian Fest. Exactly. You know I seen his ass at Metro Mart on 12/4. You know what I'm saying? He was at the meat department.
So it's like I'm that baby's pappy in the movie.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I just seen him on 12/4 with you. I got the wrong guy because I just seen him. 12.
Okay.
You know,
Because I'm sitting there looking at this shit like she don't need these problems, right? Like, she got a lot of shit going on, right? Like, she don't need these problems,
look,
man.
now you know Louise. You said, God damn.
Yeah, but they found, I guess, a walker in Central Park found a bag. They're saying these was his bullets, and he had all these cryptic messages written on the bullets, allegedly. Once again, is this him saying I'm going against corporate? Because I guess he left some notes. He had detailed notebooks of what he was doing it for, and this was supposed to be a statement against American corporate greed. I'm thinking this is what they're trying to say his reasoning behind this was. And so what was his triggers? like what triggered him? Like, to specify this one dude, to go after this specific individual, he was triggered, right? No pun intended. But yeah, man, y'all helped me so much because I was so worried that my sister had gotten herself involved. I'm like, come on.
I see.
Like, I'm gonna have to go in the People's News Network and put a disclaimer on this shit. Like, yo, and maybe I should have looked at the one that said Tulsa. Yeah. But I'm used to when she puts something up, I'm used to it's her gospel. So I'm like, okay, I share because she's been on the show. We had a dope show with her on here. A bunch of people saw the show. It was a great show. And she gave us one of the funniest things we heard in a long time when she said, it's not stolen, it's just missing.
It's just missing. That's just
right. Like, okay. All the millions of dollars, MPS, I said it's a big ass couch somewhere in MPS with about $5 million stuffed in it.
You know how it be when people steal from you at your house? You sure you ain't losing? You ain't misplacing?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Who was given that check to keep overnight? Like, we just got this $15 million check. Hey, take this home with you and bring it back in the morning. And the next day, you're like, man, I don't know what the fuck I did with that check.
My dog ate it. How did
he do this job? Right. Okay, so Earl said he saw him at Italian Fest. So is that your way of saying you don't give a fuck about the CEO getting killed? Hey man, dude was just at my cousin.
Yeah, we all look. People sticking, standing up from. No, man, he didn't do that.
No, that's my guy, man. We just
he would never.
She said he went to court with her.
Right, so he stayed the night. Everything. We had a great night. He wasn't there.
Night. Whoa. Jesse said yeah, he also had a 3-page manifesto. Okay. He said what set him off. This is my chat room. I love my Outlaw family because what I don't know, they fill in the blanks for me. So thank y'all. Shout out to y'all. See, sometimes you got to listen. It ain't always about talking. He had back problems. Okay. He had back pain. I heard he needed surgery and they wouldn't cover it. So that triggered him.
For the blast, you motherfuckers. I need surgery, niggas.
Right. They should have never gave you niggas money.
I mean, that's what happened to John Q. Then the son needs some, and Denzel, holding up the hospital or something like that.
That was the movie. That was the movie. Yeah. John Q. Denzel was like, nah, ain't nobody going home. Fuck this.
Right.
Yeah. As one of Denzel's great movies, right? Man, that's crazy. I look at people's behavior. And I say, well, what's your trigger? I can tell you because I'm asking everybody else. So I'll say for myself, I used to be really triggered by bullies and disrespect. Like those are two things that used to get me just really mad. Like I'm talking about mad where I'd be like, dude, I'm ready to get down. Like bully, like anybody trying to bully. Now there's some people who said when I was in high school, because if you said something to me, I checked you. They said, well, you was a bully. I absolutely was not. First of all, it's not my fault if you talk shit to me and then I stand up and I'm 2 times bigger than you. That's not my fault. That's your fault. It's not my fault if you say some crazy shit to me and I say something back to you and people laugh at you or be like, damn, he fucked you up. That's not my fault. That's your fault. It's not my fault no matter what your size is that you come up to me and slap me and then I beat the ever-loving shit out of you. That is not my fault. That's your fault. So I wasn't a bully because I didn't walk around fucking with people like, yo, give me your lunch money and this type of shit. I just was the type of person where if you said something to me, I was going to be like, man, fuck you. What's happening? Male or female, right? So I wasn't a bully. But anytime I watched people who I knew were bullies who would take the weakest person, you're going to pick the weakest person, somebody obviously you know that is not as strong as you, and you're going to try to make an example of him. That used to trigger me. Because I used to get to the point where I'd be like, I wish that motherfucker would try that shit with me.
That shirt being buttoned to the top is triggering me.
Is it?
West Coast, like the shirt giving me West Coast vibes, but then
right, you triggered by the cholo. You triggered by the cholo.
Right, it's giving me essay. You apologizing me?
I love how Mexicans dress. The hood dudes, them dudes be sharp, man. And they be creased up with their little shirt. I'd be like, yeah, man, that's a good look for me. I do it every day. I'm telling you. If I could do it, I'm doing it. I fuck with the cholos, man. I got the Ben Davisons and everything with the zip on them. That's my shit right there. But no, that was my trigger a long time ago. I was so reactionary to what people would say. Just, like what you just say? Like that used to be like most of the fights I've ever gotten in was because somebody was saying something or they said something to me and I'd be like, man, dog, I will beat your ass. Like it would go like that. So, but I'm not triggered by that anymore. I haven't been in a very long time because I've learned that in some cases and in some spaces, it's just not worth your time. It's not, like I said, why am I going to get upset with someone who doesn't know me that I don't know from way over there saying something on the internet, commenting on a post? You can't get me with that. That's why you hardly ever see me. I post those stories in the People's News Network, but you hardly see me even comment on them. I let people convert, like they have their conversations and they comments. Rarely do I come in and say anything. I really don't comment on a lot of shit on Facebook, period. I say happy birthday. I say, oh, way to go. Congrats. You never see me like when somebody put a hot topic up like, hey, ladies, let me ask you a question. And then the women come on there and be like, and then dudes be on there and I don't have time for that shit. I don't have time for it. And it's useless because I get nothing out of it. So I'm not triggered by that. The only thing that I'd be triggered by now is you actually threatening my family or my personal safety. But I think that probably goes back to the bully thing again, where you just feel like you can just do. That's one thing I don't like to see somebody who feels like they can do whatever they want to do to people. And and nothing should happen to them back. So, but all my other triggers, I talked about me getting over my parents being gone around the holidays. That was a major one for me for a long time, especially my mom. For about 3 Christmases after she passed, it was just like, man, it just that empty feeling again would come back. And it took me some time. But once I recognized it, I dealt with it. That's why I'm asking other people, what are your triggers? Because it's for you to recognize them before you let the shit get out of hand. I don't know. Courtney, you got triggers. What's your trigger?
Yeah, I got so many. I'm still working and growing and becoming better, but small talk is a trigger. I go to work every morning. The nigga Tavon want to talk about nothing in the morning. Just talk about shit he already know. Oh, yeah, so you had your Spanish test 2 days ago. Nigga, we talked about it already. Yeah, you know that. Why the fuck are you bringing it up again? We talked about it. You know I did. Like, I can't stand for small talk. Just to be talking. We ain't got to talk, goddammit. Just wait until you got some real shit to say. Just be quiet. We ain't got to talk. Just shh.
You seem triggered by it right now.
I be triggered by motherfuckers not having accountability. I be triggered by motherfuckers talking that shit, unnecessary shit. Because then when you start talking that shit back, then it's like, oh, so you crazy. Like, no. You want to talk that shit? Let's motherfucker go. And if I start talking shit about your mama being on crack or something, whose fault is it? Shouldn't have been talking no type of shit. Shouldn't have been talking about my haircut. But whatever the fuck you was talking about, shouldn't have been saying shit. And we'd be okay, wouldn't we?
What triggered the haircut? What triggered that? That's some set you off. What you just said?
I was driving down to Georgia to go get my son at like 12 hours in of that long ass ride. I was like, man, let's cut this shit off. And then I felt like I was using like a fidget toy. I kept twisting and put my finger in it and just, I was just like, put this shit, stop it. Cut this shit off.
I think a lot of us act, but we never ask ourselves why we do the things we do.
I thought about it because my hair was damaged and I was trying to get motherfucker to put locks back in and they putting locks back in, them locks coming back out. And I feel like that's your hair. Like, hey, man, you should start over. The shit is, shit is coming out and it's not working. You should start over. So it's like, all right, okay, I'll listen.
Yeah, every now and then I'll let my hair grow out or let my beard grow out and then I'll get a bad cut or I just get to the point where like, you know what? I'm starting to shit all over. And so you just come home bald head. My brother called it a little boy haircut. Yeah. Why you got that little boy haircut?
Right, that's exactly that's what it is. The Ray
Like,
J, the
look like somebody held you down in it.
all of
Yeah.
that.
Nah, man. I'm starting over, damn it. He said Vato Loco, Kev. And
That's
listen,
true.
hey, man.
Loco Kevin.
Hey, man.
Loco Kevin.
It's brothers on the West Coast who dress the same way though. And it's actually just called being teed up when you got your shirt buttoned all the way up. But once again, man, my mom, when she felt like something was important, and I know a lot of people like, dude, you're too old for this shit. But when she felt like you was going somewhere important, I don't care what shirt you had on with buttons, she would button it up all the way to the top and tell me, okay, now you good. And then rub that big ass coat of Vaseline on my forehead.
Yeah, right.
But that's what was called, okay, you fancy. You're proper for the occasion. So where
did you go today? You had a meeting, or this how every day this is you go to work, it's important, so you do the top button?
If I can button the top button up on any shirt I wear, I'm buttoning it up. Dion, I seen you. I just missed you. Hit me back. Get you back on the line. But no, it's just funny to me. It's just a habit now. Dion, I know for like the first 10 episodes, Dion's like, unbutton your fucking shirt. Like, no. This is picture day. Like my mother, when you gotta take pictures for school tomorrow, she make you sit down, she put the grease in your head, she comb your hair, your afro be this big, you got a pound of Vaseline on, and your shirt is buttoned all the way up to the top. I'm gonna have to bring some of my old school pictures just to prove this to y'all and show me with a Judy shirt buttoned up to the top when I was little. Oh my God, man, that is funny. Shout out to my partner Dion, man. Dion Carter, man. One of my oldest friends, one of my best friends. He said, you got me out of a jam in Fargo. Respect, bro. Man, Dion, that was one of the wildest nights of my life. That was a crazy night. That when I see these people now put up these posts and say last night was a movie, that's the kind of shit that was that night in Fargo, Dion. Good Lord. Man, we had some nights like that. Hit me, Dion. I got the phone in my hand. We had some nights like that in North Dakota, man, where it's like, dude, if I ever write a book or if I ever make a movie, this shit got to be in it because it just like, and that's what I'm saying. I was so triggered then by white people would say shit to me back then, and I would get so mad. I'd punch a white dude in his face. We had fights. We had riots in North Dakota fighting white dudes.
Oh, you was on that higher learning shit.
Exactly. It was there. It was there the whole time. And the movie came out halfway through my freshman year. So I was in college and I was like, damn. So this shit is a thing. It ain't just here. Because I was thinking it's just because we're in North Dakota. But it wasn't, because other schools I went to, it was the same thing. Except for Eastern Illinois, in which the blacks there fought of the blacks. So the Qs or the Kappas didn't like the football players. So they would have just big, huge fights at bars, and it was just stupid, right? And I chose to sit it out, and they got mad at me, and basically it was like, you scary and all this. So I threatened to fight all them because I was triggered. So I ended up being an outlaw before I left. I actually dropped out and left and came back home. But yeah, man. And Dion C, he said exactly. Yeah, man, that was yikes. It was just I couldn't back then. I couldn't watch white. Like, I wouldn't have been the type of dude watching George Floyd this cop choking out George Floyd. I wouldn't have been the dude standing there watching. I'd have been on that ass. And I would have told everybody with me, hey man, it's time to ride. And that's what we did in North Dakota, man. We go to Fargo, go to a party, and white dudes get drunk and they, come over to you and talk to you, dude, man, like black guys, and there's black guys on the team here, and you're like, all right, man, all right. And then sooner or later, fucking nigger. Y'all hear that? Yes, sir. Time to go. We about to whoop some ass. We about to get it in. And so Dion was around for some of that. Like, they looked at us on the football team like, man, you niggas is crazy. Because we be the, man, we track you down. You done did that at a party on Sunday night. I might only been 3 deep. About a bunch of y'all. But I see you on campus and be like, hey, that's the white boy right there who was talking shit at the party. We done that too. For real? Oh, let's follow this dude. Follow you right up to your dorm. Hey, man, you remember me? No, not really. Not really, bro. Yeah, you was at that party Saturday night, right? You remember telling me how you don't like black dudes and all that? Boom! Ass whooped.
Damn.
Next thing you know, coaches pulling up in cars. Get your ass in this car. They're gonna take us to the student, to the coaches, to the student. I mean, the athletic center. You got to sit down and talk to the coaches. You know, you can get arrested. You can get put out of here, son. It's just like I had to tell a white coach one time because we was getting ready to play a game. I know I'm off the topic, but I had to tell this story. We was getting ready to play a game, and the coaches said, "Well, we're gonna tell y'all right now. We're going to Iowa. We're gonna play Iowa Central, right?" And they said, "We're gonna tell you right now. Some of these guys are gonna say whatever they can say to you to get you off your game. They might call you a nigger, a spook, a spade, and we don't want you guys to react and get a penalty." I said, "Fuck that. If a white boy called me a nigga, I'm knocking him the fuck out." And everybody started laughing in the meeting, like, "Oh, okay, if you do, that's just Barnes being Barnes. You crazy." And the coach was like, "No, Kevin, seriously, we don't want you to get, because if you get into a fight, you're gonna be suspended for the next game too." I said, "I don't give a shit. I guess I got to file a give." And so at this point, the white dude realized I'm not joking. And so he's like, "Well, Kevin Barnes, if we got to sit you this week," I said, "Look, coach, you do what you got to do. The one thing about me is I'm never gonna let a white man tell me why I shouldn't get mad when another white man called me a nigga." And it was like 5 other dudes in the room. He said, "Damn, that's some real shit."
Right, hell yeah.
That's true. Needless to say, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Somebody did, like, it was a penalty. It was like an Islander dude. He's huge, like 6'5", like 330. He didn't call me a nigger, but he cheap shot at me. So I retaliated on him. But you know what? As soon as he did it and they threw a flag on him, I looked at the sideline. Everybody and their mom was saying, "Barnes, get off the field." I ran to the sideline, like, "What happened?" Coach, like, "I just want to make sure you didn't retaliate because I didn't know what was that interaction." I said, "Man, you can put me back in the game, man." And he put me back in, and I ended up getting him because he, I ended up doing some dirty stuff to him later on in the game. And we watched it over and over in film that Monday, like, "Barnes, why you do this?" Like, "Hey, man, dude took a shot at me, man. I was triggered.
That's right.
You're right, Dion. It was higher learning, man, back in them days, man. I don't know how it is now up in them parts. I know North Dakota may be a little bit different because they have oil. They found oil up there. And so I think a lot of more people of color moved up there. But back then, man, in them 90s, man, shit, they say anything to you. They might just, I'd be in the grocery store, man, little kids coming to me like, "Oh my God, look, Mom, he's so cool." And the mother would look like I was finna eat her kid, like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I'm like, "It's okay. He's a kid. I'm not tripping on no little kid," right? Like, so yeah, man. But those are my cowboy Western stories. That's what I was triggered by. Dion, you still on the road? What's going on, man?
No, I'm parked now. It's cold as a motherfucker out here.
It is cold. Yes, it is. It is cold.
I feel like I'm triggered by bullies, but not those type of bullies. I be triggered by everything in the world that's going on. Like, say for instance, I'm gonna give you a little personal shit that's been going on with me lately. So I've been fighting Landmark Credit Union. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't have the money in my checking account, why are y'all going? And then this is the killer part. Like, say for instance, I got the IRS set up on direct pay every month. I forgot it was, I don't keep really track of the days. I didn't have the money in my checking, but I got it in savings. But I don't want them touching nothing. Do you know that these people penalized me $30? Not only did they do it yesterday, they took $60 from me yesterday. And I called, and it's like, and I'm like, damn, didn't Joe Biden stop these people from charging us these outrageous overdraft ass fees? You know what I'm saying? So I called. I'm like, why are y'all allowed? Like, if I don't have the monies in there, why are y'all taking $30 from me when I don't have the money? I'm like, that shit. When I say, bro, I was so motherfucking angry and upset. Like, I understand sometimes when people go overboard and do irrational shit, but we'll be like, damn, I don't understand why he did that. You know what I'm saying? Because you just get so tired of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And like I'll be explaining to the workers there. I say, I'm not mad at you, but I told you people I don't want nobody going in my account. If the money is not in there, the money just the fuck ain't in there. You know what I'm saying? But y'all keep on finding ways to go up in my motherfucking account, taking money from me, and just like fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
And just
like,
take the savings and move the savings account to another bank.
I am. That's what I'm gonna do this weekend.
Okay.
I'm closing, and I've been with Landmark forever. So I'm gonna go to Educators, and I got it. My MPS go to Educators. My main job go to Landmark. But I'm like, fuck Landmark. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been going through this. First of all, I remember a couple years ago, I had like $20,000 in the bank. I wanted to borrow $5,000 from them for a car loan. They wouldn't even do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Miss Jenkins, Miss Deborah Jenkins, she was saying like Landmark bullshit too. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck is y'all keep on allowing people to take this money from me? And I'm telling y'all, like, block the account. But they like, if you gave somebody your route number, this, man, fuck you. You gonna lose the customer. So when Friday comes, because I ain't got to work Friday, because I got a job interview, you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to the city to take a test for equipment operator. Because my job, like, they own some bullshit. Like, after the 20th, we off for 2 weeks, and we come back January 6th, and they ain't gonna pay us. So go up with my mortgage and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, in a way, I'm mad at myself, but in a way, I ain't, because you know I do a lot of travel. That traveling ain't free. That take money.
Yes, sir.
And that could be money that I could be saving. But I look at my life like I want to live my motherfucking life. You know what I'm saying? Because like last weekend, no bullshit. When I say I was sick, my nigga, I was sick. Whatever I had, it would have killed the average person that didn't have a strong immune system. But I had to get up and go to both jobs. I had to operate this big ass semi truck. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could have been talking to me. I could have lost conscience, killed myself, kill other people, because that's how sick I am. I don't know what it was, because I don't want to go to the doctor, because I already owe the doctor, and I ain't got time on trying to pay them motherfuckers down. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of shit in life. You know, when you sit back and think, you be like, damn, I be like, I don't know what dude's situation was, but I could see why he probably did that. Or I could see why some people do shit, because you get so tired of being a little man, and you trying to make it. You trying to scrape. You trying to do this. Like, Landmark know that's bogus as a motherfucker. Y'all know if a person ain't got the money in the account to cover the motherfucker that's trying to take the money, how y'all gonna take $30 from me? They have took 3 $30 payments. That's $90 within the last month. You know what I'm saying? Because I can have, like, say for instance, you can have a payment up in there for $75. You can have the $75 up in there, but I travel back and forth to Illinois so much that sometimes the toll might hit my money. So they might have took $450 from me. So that money that I had in there to cover that payment, it might be $5 short. Boom, I get hit with $30 from the money that's up in there for the people that I'm supposed to pay. So now I got to look at my account, transfer some money from, and it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like bullshit. And you look at shit like that to go on, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with my job, you know what I'm saying? Like, how y'all gonna have us laid off for 2 weeks and not give us our Christmas bonus and not give us shit? You know what I'm saying? And like my guy said, he used to work here. He was like, this is the first time ever this has happened. And to keep it real with you, I don't really like because the city, I don't like how the city do they shit. The city and the post office, like with all them tests and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of a discouragement. I ain't got no problem with it, because I know I'm going to go up in there. I'm probably going to, like, I just did it with the water department last year. I think I hit 87. I was 11th in line. They said, they called me, but at the time, you know what I'm saying, I was trying to complete an accomplishment with myself to stay here where I'm at for 5 years, but I didn't foresee none of this is about to transpire. So, you know what I'm saying? Now, I did my 5 years. I'm ready to move around. That was a personal accomplishment to myself, you know what I'm saying? So I did the 5 years. Boom, now I'm ready to move around. And then now all of a sudden this shit happened. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, thank God, you know what I'm saying, that I do got a little wiggle room where I can last 3 or 4 months without a paycheck and be kind of good, but then it'll be fucking with my savings. You know what I'm saying? And also, I know, like, I got a skill set. If I want to, I can go take a little punk ass, you know, CDL job just to keep, you know what I'm saying, money going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been looking at Amazon jobs and all type of shit just to do it on the weekend or wherever while I'm gone for this 20th. You know what I'm saying? I even called my ex-boss to see if he'll let me do some runs for him, you know, because he like an owner-operator and shit. And then Friday, I got to go to Waste Management, and I got to go for a job interview with them, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? The Waste might want to fuck with me, but I'm still, if I start fucking with Waste, you know what I'm saying, then the city called me, I'm still going to fuck with the city because I want that equipment operator position because I do want to learn how to operate different equipment because that's the skill set because as I say all the time, I don't want to live in Milwaukee for the rest of my life. If I lose my life here, or if I not lose my life, but if I succumb to health issues or whatever, if it's time for me to go, then that's understandable. But I would like to have a different address somewhere else, even if I just went there for a year or two and came back. Because if you can't make it nowhere else, you can always make it here. You know what I'm saying? So
I've heard differently. I've heard that if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere else.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
If you can't, that's what I'm saying. Why people
make it
always
nowhere, you can make it here.
Trying to down the city, like people, and I'd be happy for people when they move from Milwaukee and find somewhere better. But like, you don't gotta shit on us because you found somewhere to move to.
Man, ain't no place like home.
I'm just saying, like, and I'm not. My brother always gets at me. He say, "Yeah, man, you only know who love Milwaukee, like you." But I'm like, yeah, but you've moved several places, but you're back here with me. You're sitting in the garage with me. Like, I don't. Once again, if my life was so horrid here, and I just couldn't see the forest for the trees, I wouldn't be above saying, "Man, I'm out of here." But you know, God has been good to me, so I've been able to, you know, maintain and sustain and maintain, as they say. Let me go to this chat room. Jesse says, I used to fight the white boys in college too, especially the ones who thought it was too cool to say nigga. I became known around campus for that. He said, right, Kev. He said, yep, time to go. I mean, we all knew what time it was when it happened. You knew who was gonna stay and you knew who wasn't gonna fight. Now as you looked around, you say, man, you might want to leave. Wow, what's going on, Kev? Man, I'm about to punch the shit out this dude. Hey, man, look. And I had a partner who was good for, he was the guerrilla warfare expert because while I'm talking to you, he come from the side and hit you with some flavor. Hong dong. And because you cleared him. Matter of fact, me and him were the only two football players from Milwaukee. Deion's from the mill, but Deion was a basketball player. Shout out to Boo. Jamal Turntine. Boo was a basketball player. He's from Milwaukee. Boo's the only 4 Milwaukee dudes there. So me and my boy Tone Spencer on the football team, man, Tone to clear something. Just bow. my vice lord partner from Milwaukee. We just happen to end up there at the same time. Look, it's 9:35. We're going into the holiday season. I hope everybody is, you know, if you're in a position, like I said, if you've lost people, and I'm getting ready to go to my mother-in-law's funeral, which I can't even say enough good things about my mother-in-law and who she was. It's not enough vocabulary that you can use. Like because it's all true and it's also accurate. So it's going to be very sad. And I know in the coming years, when we come to the holidays, her whole entire family, including myself, you kind of feel a little bit down during the holidays. Because like I said, when my mom passed in 2006, it took me about 4 or 5 Christmases to really get to where I could just be cool during the holidays without really feeling. For me, it was Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'd just be like, man, just knowing that I would never get no more of my mama's cooking, just because my mother always did it big on holidays when it comes to that food. And so it took me years. It's just like they say, a hole in your soul. And so I'm not looking forward to that. But to anybody who's dealing with this, man, if you recognize what the trigger is, it can help you get by. It can help you get over it. Like I talked about all the dumb stuff I've done, and simply because somebody said something to me. I had a million fights because somebody said something to me. What you say? Who you talking to? Right? Nigga, I know you ain't talking to me. Had I not dealt with that, there's no telling where it would have led me. Right? I probably would have gotten involved in a conflict that I shouldn't have, because no man is just the baddest motherfucker on the planet, right? It's somebody out there who would have whooped my ass, or who would have shot me, or had more guns than us, or was deeper than us. Thank God. Another reason why I believe in God so strongly is because he saved me from all of that. He protected me from all of that. And I know it was him because I wasn't smart enough to avoid it on my own. I moved off sometimes hunches, sometimes saying something in my head saying, hey, you should go around the corner, or you should move around from here. The energy ain't right. And on the way back through, I see police done pulled up and laid everybody down, or somebody got shot, or somebody got killed. And I'm like, dude, I was just literally standing right there. So I believe in that. But I'm saying all of that to say, recognize what your triggers are as best as you can, and then just try to work on them. I'm not saying solve it, like you can't, because you can't fix it overnight. But work on recognizing it. Saying, you know what, I got to stop doing that. I can't let that bother me as much, especially as we get older, because stress is, you stop being reckless as a young man, but then you start being stressed about everything. Either way it goes, it's dangerous. So we got to do that. I love when we talk about things on this show, and then I hear other people kind of, it's just my ego, but I just be thinking people be sneak listening to my show. Because I be hearing, like, I'm on YouTube, I'm watching other platforms, and I'm hearing people say the same things that I didn't hear them say it before we said it. I hear them say it after we've said it. So, like, we were talking about the whole Andrew Schultz thing, and what's comedy. This is what we talked about Monday. I fucked up on sharing the show, y'all. I really did, because, like I said, share the show. I was sharing this old show, but I wasn't sharing our live. So I look back like, where the show at? It's like, dude, I shared the old show like 9 times. So people's like, where's this? Where's Outlaw Radio? This ain't the live show. But I didn't do that this week. But yeah, that was so funny. But Andrew Schultz, with this thing about he would make love if he to Kendrick Lamar, whether he wanted to or not, and because he's of small stature, he could take it from Kendrick. And he went into these gory details.
Oh, now?
Yeah, he went into these gory details about what he would do to Kendrick sexually. Like, talking about if we were sitting in prison, we was watching movies and all that, then I'd be like, okay, well, I might as well go ahead and, do this to you. And I just thought, like, well, that's not funny. And the one thing people say, he's a comedian. But, like, we kept making the point last week, when has rape ever been funny? I did a whole show one time called For Shits and Giggles. It was all race jokes. Right? And, I don't think anybody was offended. My homie Zelanon, he's Nicaraguan. He said, I feel like you went at Latino people a little bit too much. But it wasn't. It was just jokes. And the jokes that he made about black women, while I didn't like them, some of them were funny. I mean, funny is funny, because black comedians make jokes about white people all the time. But when you start talking about raping another man, there's no joking way you could talk about it and it'd be funny. Right? I don't laugh at rape.
I'm surprised he didn't get canceled for that. See, that's what I'm saying about us as black. I mean, us as like, they get away with shit like that because Rick Ross had a song where he was talking about
putting
doing some bullshit like that.
Right, putting the Molly in the drink. Yeah,
and they pull that shit. Yeah.
Well, Lil Wayne had a quote in a Future song where he said something like, "I'm beating niggas, beat the coochie up like Emmett Till." He said something to that effect, and people was upset, so they took it off the song. Like, yeah, we get regulated. But the most disappointing part of this thing is, Charlemagne basically stood with him and defended him and said,
Of course he did. Charlemagne's a sucker.
He a bitch.
But it's just so disheartening for him not to even say, because once again, I understand when you say, hey, you went too far. Like, I can tell I got some homeboys who they will do too much sometimes. And so you say, man, you doing too much, man. Hey, dog, you ain't.
Yeah, but you wouldn't even told me like Dion, that's too much.
But that's how the white folks be, though. If you go to the Improv, like on a night where it's not some popular motherfuckers, and you go to the Improv and it's just white folks, the shit they be talking about your face would be like, what the fuck? Sound like kids and they dad. Sound like a lot of incest and depression and shit. It just be real fucked up what they be talking about. I'm like, and this is what's funny to white folks. You just be.
Well, I just still fail to realize, as somebody who has built a fortune off of what's supposed to be a black platform that's supposed to represent hip hop, that he wouldn't even take to, and maybe he did because I didn't listen to the whole thing, because I feel like what they'll do is everything on YouTube is about clips. and you know, little snapshots. I feel like somebody would have played that one already, in which he said, you know, hey man, listen, that was too much. Like we cool and all, but you just did too much. By him not saying that, to me, kind of opens the door for what I call the Trump energy from white people. This is the kind of thing we're gonna have to deal with on a regular, where a white person who y'all the ones who brought him to the picnic, y'all the ones who brought him to the cookout. You thought he was cool because he got a fade, and because he listened to some hip hop. Dude, I love Wu-Tang. You brought him around, and now they're gonna start to turn the tides on you and start making fun of you and laughing at you, and using the things that they know to further disrespect us. So that's why we got to be careful who we give access to our culture.
But listen though, Kev, they doing the same old shit they been doing. Like we was talking about with the Indians. Those people are conquerors, man. When you think about when you get into white folks nation, look at their history. They are conquerors. They're Vikings and shit. So all it is different. It's playing in modern times. You know, culture vultures. We see the white girls all on TikTok dancing to the rap music, thinking it's cool. We see the white boys coming out dressing like us, rapping and doing all that, thinking it's cool. Got the goals in their mouth and all that. A lot of us accept that. You know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, they this, they that. No, they not. It took me a long time, and I really still don't accept it. But it took me a long time to accept that white boys can be gangsters. White boy can't be no gangster. They got the Simon City Royals of their own organization, but you ain't no GD. You know what I'm saying? But in certain places, the white boys can. But they don't do nothing but speak into our culture, steal our shit, and do bullshit, and then look at us. We sit back holding the motherfucking bullshit like, well, Lord, you know, just like they did everybody throughout history. And they steadily repeating themselves with the bullshit. And we don't see that, man.
Well, once again, there's an expectation, or there should be an expectation, if you are somebody who is supposed to represent our voice, right? For you not to say, hey, man, that was too much. That was too far, because there's a lot to this. Like, people are now kind of referring to buck breaking and things of this nature. But the fact that he felt so comfortable to say it, and to say it in front of other black people, and they laughed. Like, oh, you so crazy. Like, oh, instead of them saying, oh, wait, hold on, cuz. Like, my closest, in my smallest, tightest circle of my best friends, if we sitting around talking and somebody goes overboard, they quickly get reprimanded and like, hey, man, hold on, man. Hey, man, you doing a little bit too much, man. And if that's how I feel, that's how I feel. Some people quick to say, hey, man, well, don't say that shit around me. If that's how you feel, I mean, it can get to be a major situation. You feel what I'm saying? And the fact that nobody's checking him, I feel like this should cause for the cancellation of the Breakfast Club, especially amongst black people. I feel like this, out of all of the foul shit that I've seen, and part of it's entertainment and yada yada yada. I feel like this reason alone is enough for us to say, all right, shut the lights off. We're not listening to this shit no more. This shit has become beyond buffoonery. Jesse said, to hell with that clown Leonard, aka Charlemagne too. He said, stop inviting him to the cookout and barbecue, FBA fam. He said those were the tethers, Kev, not FBA, that was laughing at that weirdo shit. Were they tethers? I don't know. But Charlemagne is not a tether, and he sat and, I mean, I heard him kind of giving some subliminal things like, Kendrick, you better leave Kendrick alone. Kendrick gonna get you, this kind of thing. But there was never the stance of, hey, man. Because my first thing would have been like, hey, man, I thought we was guys, man. This how you do my people? Like, I would have had an issue. Really. I would have been.
Hell yeah, I would have checked the shit out of him.
I would have been triggered. You feel what I'm saying? This would have upset me, man. So when I didn't see Charlemagne do this, I'm just kind of like, okay, well, that means somewhere in your heart of hearts, you support this. You're cool with it. I got a problem with that. How can you be cool with somebody disrespecting us for a laugh? Not just comedy, not being a comedian, not saying jokes, but saying something like that. Like it's what they call triggering. It is and I've seen a lot of people before you watch the video, they say trigger warning. Like don't, if you hear what he's saying, you know, and he's speaking with an attitude. Like it's a brashness that he's speaking with. Like it's like a
also,
fuck
though,
all y'all.
He probably said that before. That's why he was comfortable saying that around Charlamagne the God, because the real nigga would have probably checked the shit out of him, might have slapped him in his mouth right there. So that lets you know that he has said bullshit before if they buddies and been hanging out. He has said little racist ass jokes probably around Charlamagne, and Charlamagne hee hee ha ha. That's why, because sometimes white folks will test the air before they didn't say shit. Because they know we, as they say, you guys will sensitive. Nah, bitch, you gonna watch what you say. Or get your motherfucking head peeled, hoe ass nigga.
Well, see, the thing is, well, he was saying, Charlamagne was saying, well, it's not like he's racist because he makes these jokes about everybody, right? Because race jokes are part of his act. Like, once again, I can take it like
I like how you be making race jokes.
Right. I do. I do. I would be the first one to admit that. So when I hear a joke by a white comedian, I don't automatically come to pieces. I don't, oh, to cancel this motherfucker, right? It's just like the point I was making about when I heard Charleston White, the way he disrespected black women when Kamala Harris announced her candidacy for the president. I felt like, okay, that's a deal breaker for me. Okay, now, even if there's a message to your madness, I don't even want to hear it. Even if, I'm just playing a character. Well, I no longer want to watch this show. And especially combined with the fact that it comes out that she's not even black. Like, because that became the thing that black people were mad about, right? Like, we're not voting for her. She's not even black. But he used that, and some of the shit he said, and Kamar was saying, well, you know, there's women who behave a certain way, and we do have, you know, bitches and hoes in the community. But he didn't specify. He was saying black women, period. And I'm just like, even if that's a joke, it's not funny. And I don't want to, yeah. I'm going to get up and lead the show. Like, dude, in there tripping, man. I'm not finna sit through this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never listened to him.
I've listened to him make sense about a lot of things, but when ever since he said, when he told T.I., I'm a Trayvon Martin, your son. I'm a George Zimmerman, your son.
Yeah, I don't even think I was
like, what black man says that to another black man? No matter how mad we get, that's where you at. Now, the flip side is Andrew Schultz is saying now he's getting death threats. He said people were sending him pictures with his baby saying, we're going to get your ass. Now he's like, I don't understand. This is an overreaction. Well, no, it's not. This is what happened. This is what happens when you let your mouth
kill me with that.
When your mouth write a check, your ass can't cash. You know, this is what happens. It's like I said, you can't. It's not my fault if you talking shit to me and you can't whoop my ass. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault if you start a fight with me and I hurt you. You started the fight with me. That's not my fault. So when he came out with this, and as brash as he was in saying it, when the roosters, what Malcolm X say, when the chickens come home to roost, cluck cluck, motherfucker. I bet you that'll learn your ass. I'm free speech. I'm a comedian. Okay. Ice-T made a song a long time ago, freedom of speech. Just watch what you say. That's what he was saying on that record a long time ago. One of my Ice-T favorites. When y'all came, it don't even seem like Ice-T was a rapper now, do it? Is that just it? Like, you can't, now you look at Ice-T, been on TV and in movies. A lot of people can't remember Ice-T was like at one point the top of the game rapper, like platinum albums and everything. Like, he was representing. He came out with
that Cop Killer.
Yeah, and then they sat his ass down. Yep.
I swear them motherfuckers don't like when we get on their ass. They can do anything they want. But when it comes time for, care before you end the night, because I know you're gonna be ending it soon. So I was listening to Roland the other day, and a lot of people were upset because I don't know if it's true or did he consider it or was it in the air. But they was talking about Biden pardoning Trump. What do you think about that?
First of all, let's say Biden pardoning his son is the maniest shit ever. This dude has a laptop with footage of him with crack, with underage girls, with all kinds of shit. I get it. It's nepotism. I get it. I totally do. You say, hey, man, I don't know how much time I got left, and I'm not finna be president no more. So, you know what? Fuck them. I'm gonna pardon you. Get your shit together, son. I can see me doing that to my son, saying, you know what? I'm gonna do this last thing for you. Because you done got yourself in some shit, boy. And you know what I mean? Like, I can see me, you know, but as far as Trump goes, the way they've made it now is, since he's president, what they want to create is a certain amount of immunity for him. And they already, we saw this coming when they had already said, well, we got to decide on whether or not these were acts that he committed when he was president. So there's immunity for things that he may have done while he was the acting president. Right. So they are the ones who get to, you know, pick and choose. I do not believe he should pardon Trump. I think it's absolutely a fact that Trump tried to muscle this country. You lost an election. You wouldn't accept it. You sent some goons. You did everything a thug nigga do. Only difference is the thug go to jail. Right? Now, big money and whiteness at the same time equal you beating charges, apparently. So, but I don't believe Biden should pardon him at all. No, I do not. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because it is a handoff from one white man to another. And that's what was so funny to me, and people were so enthralled with the fact that Kamala is not black. I'm like, well, neither is Biden. And y'all elected him. Right. And neither is Trump.
Right.
Right. So it was so hypocritical in so many different ways. Right. But no, to answer your question, he shouldn't. Did y'all see that? I feel the same way. I seen the Jamie Foxx Netflix, and you know they had kind of clickbaited you into thinking that he was going to blame Puffy for what happened to him. And
how did they clickbait you into thinking that? There was nothing I saw that made you think. Well, I guess I ain't seen nothing.
I seen plenty headlines that were saying Jamie Foxx said Puffy poisoned him and he went to the feds on him. I seen so many.
None of those headlines.
Damn, I ain't seen nothing like that.
That was clickbait all over. I seen head. Are you going YouTube right now?
Right, that's what I'm like. What you be seeing? I ain't seen that at all.
Go on YouTube. There's endless videos of Jamie Foxx. The whole way Puffy's investigation started was he poisoned Jamie Foxx and tried to kill him, and Jamie Foxx went to the feds. That was what people were saying. For real. Now I watched his show, and let me just, in terms of, because I'm a black comic connoisseur. I fuck with black comedy for years, ever since I was a little kid. It was funny, but it wasn't hilarious. But it was really.
Wait till I see it, because he's way funnier than Martin. Y'all be thinking Martin's hilarious and really.
Well, Martin's show was funnier than the Jamie Foxx show. Very much so fun. Way funnier than the
Jamie Foxx show.
First of all, Jamie Foxx, the early episodes was just super goofy. He didn't really get into a swing until like the last 2 or 3 years. But at first it was just goofy shit. Martin was centered in where we were in the culture at that point. And if you're not from that time, you might not understand. I know my kids who are younger than all of us on this platform absolutely crack up off the shit. All my guys, I can still watch certain episodes of Martin right now and be damn near falling on the floor laughing like this boy is a fool.
I just don't understand what y'all be laughing at. That's what made me think y'all crazy. It's not funny.
That's fine. That's fine. Maybe that's a date for y'all. Maybe y'all can hook up and watch the Martin show.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, she said something else that's not funny. You just said something else that is not funny, right? No, I suggest y'all get y'all some popcorn and get y'all, go on YouTube and just I'll write down all the episodes that you should watch, and I guarantee you're gonna laugh at some of the shit. Now, maybe not all of it.
I gotta write down the episodes. You can start from season 1.
You better, because you're gonna end up watching him do a lot of gay suspect shit, and you're gonna watch him do a lot of cornball shit. That wasn't in the 90s. It was funny, but we wasn't laughing like that off of that. It was Jamie Foxx is a talented dude and he's super funny. I think he's probably funnier than Martin is now. But Martin's TV show was funnier than the Jamie Foxx show. It just was. And if you don't agree, you don't agree. It is what it is.
Just like you think we got good food. Like you think Perkins is still good.
I think too, Courtney. Well, because I think Courtney number one was too young to remember it. Right? She was 5.
But it don't matter. I went and ordered.
No. It matters. It matters that you was 5 when it came on. You had no clue what was going on. You look around like what they laughing at because it was grown up shit. You was a little bit too young, and maybe so. Maybe you resonate with Jamie because by that time you was about what 12 when Jamie Foxx came on, 12, 13, somewhere in there.
Him, the Waynes, none of that shit was funny to me.
The Waynes was okay. John Witherspoon was funny. It was okay.
It was just something to watch. I supported him, but
it wasn't funnier than
hilarious. Yeah, Prince of Bel-Air, none of that shit. Maybe Family Matters. Yeah, with Urkel. Yeah.
Well, I seen Jaleel White. He's upset now because he's saying he doesn't understand how Family Matters ranks when they talk about the great black sitcoms of the 90s. Everybody puts Family Matters under Living Single, Martin, and what was the other one? What was the other one that we watched? It ain't Def Comedy Jam. Strokes. No, not Different Strokes. Damn, they didn't go back that goddamn far. Shit, that boy said Different Strokes. It was Living Single, Martin, and then whatever the other big. Maybe it was the Wayans brothers. Maybe it was the Wayans brothers. Family Matters is just kind of cornball to me. It was cornball to me. Like I was having that conversation with my wife, and I'm like, remember this shit got really corny when they brought Stefan on, and she was like, he was fine. She was like,
when you go back and watch it now.
I was like, he was fine. Right. I was like, she said he was fine too. I was like, what? It was Steve Urkel.
He was all right when he turned to Stefan. But now when you go back, you could really tell that Mr. What was his name? Whatever they daddy now, you could tell he's gay now. Back then I couldn't tell. But now
he hasn't come out. Reginald Vale Johnson. He's not come out. He never came out and said
he did.
They say he gay though.
No. But when you go back and watch it, you definitely see the movements with him. You be like, yeah, that nigga gay.
They said Uncle Phil was gay from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. People used to say he was gay. I mean, black people are always saying somebody gay though.
Look, when you go back and watch it, you be like, I see it.
You ain't famous until somebody say you gay in the black community, because black people say everybody is gay. Like, name one artist who's never been accused of being gay by a black person. Like, name one.
Did they say Jamie Foxx was gay?
You're right. Everybody been accused.
People have said Jamie Foxx was sweet as a bag of treats.
Did they say Martin was gay?
Who?
Like you said Paul Mooney was gay, but Paul Mooney wasn't gay.
People say Paul Mooney was a fan. I
definitely heard he was gay.
Man, they said he was a sausage smuggler. I've heard that a million times. I can't think of. Well, Denzel put himself in the conversation because nobody had ever said that until he said, "Well, I kissed a man."
Oh, but yeah, we kissed on this. Like, why you ain't nobody know?
They didn't even put it in the movie. Why you bring it up? Right?
They
like,
cut it out. But
you refused to kiss the white lady in the movie years ago. Remember what was the white lady name? I forget her name. He refused to kiss her years ago. So I'm not gonna.
Devil in the blue dress.
I'm not gonna do that. But he kissed the dude and he was happy about it. So he wasn't in the conversation till then. There's people who say, and I said Shabaka is one who will tell you that everybody in Hollywood is gay. That's how you get. Corey Holcomb said that's how you see these top tier Negroes, all the ones who done got to that level, they've all bent over. I don't know. I was disappointed when I found out that Richard Pryor had indulged in a transgender relationship with a man. I was disappointed in that. Like, damn, Rich. But he didn't hide that fact. So in essence, Richard Pryor was gay, right? Yeah. See, that triggered you, didn't it, Dion? Dion said, damn, I'm not rich.
No, I heard about it. I heard him and Paul Mooney was supposed to fuck around. And I think wasn't it one of the was it Cary Grant or Marlon Brando? Yep, I heard about that though.
Well, yeah, because Quincy Jones said Marlon Brando was hitting everybody off.
Yeah, but it's just sad though.
Somebody tapped Quincy Jones on his shoulder though, because he shut the fuck up about that shit. He was telling that story for a minute. All of a sudden, Quincy like, I'm cool. I ain't got nothing to say. Like,
but they've been attacking us, man. They like you said, like you just said, you said some shit that really made sense, and you really weren't trying to make sense with it. But like you said, every famous black man that been in Hollywood then put that attachment on his name. You know what I'm saying? Like, they steadily attack us, man. But you always say, Ken, when I be like, the white man, everything about white, you say, oh, no, D, it ain't like that. Yes, it is.
But you missed that. You missed the important part of what I said, though.
What?
I said black people accused them of being gay, not white people.
Yeah,
Black people are the ones who say, "Oh, that motherfucker gay, man." I back in the days, Lil' Kim went to the hospital and got 30 gallons of skeet pumped out her stomach.
I definitely remember that story. It was, they was like, "Damn."
Oh, that was the kids on the block too. They say he got his stomach pumped with semen that was in it.
Dude,
shit.
Come on, man. And this was before. Look, this was before it was the internet. Right?
Yeah.
Black people call everybody gay. Like, you gay. That used to be our phrase until the LGBT came and canceled it and said, man, you gay. That's what we used to say in the hood. Like, dog, why you dressed like that, nigga? You gay.
Yeah.
So, that's what black people gonna put on you. And
that's why they had him saying on the Boondocks, Lil Riley, nigga, you gay.
Nigga, you gay.
Like last time.
Right. Thugnificent and Thuglicious and all this shit. Like, even though a lot of that shit came out to be true. I mean, but that's like I said, I've even heard who was the celebrity I heard talking about it? He said that's just basically how I knew I was famous. He said I didn't feel like I was shit until they said I was gay, and then I was like, okay, I made it. Because that's what it turns into for black people. Like, especially if it's a white dude involved anywhere. The white dude, that was his handler. That's the one who was taking him to the parties. Like, that's what we do. But with Jamie Foxx, he cleared it up. He said, and Jesse is putting it here, saying he said he had a brain bleed that led to a stroke. That's what he had. That's what happened. But people had gotten thinking that he was going to come on here and say something about Puffy. He actually said, Puffy? Like, no. He had shit to do with it. Like, but he made one joke that I thought, because nobody ever asked Jamie Foxx this, and I think somebody should. I've seen him do millions of interviews. I've never seen Jamie Foxx in public with a black woman. Mm-hmm. And he made a joke about how people were saying he was a clone and all this kind of stuff. And he said, one thing his sickness did is it cured him of the white girls. And everybody laughed. And then he said, no more white girls. And then he said, well, no more white girls outside. And then I thought that was hilarious because I have never seen Jamie Foxx with and not that I know his dating history, right? So some people may say he used to date Fancy and all this kind of shit. I don't know. But his most high-profile romances that you've seen or relationships have been with white women. So I've always been like, man, why is this brother? Why he don't never date black women? Like, what? This is me thinking out loud, right? Just me thinking out loud.
There be a lot of black men like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like that Jonathan Majors. I think he only had white women. Then he tried to save face with Megan Good. Like, them niggas ain't in love.
Taking his boo now.
Well, he had a nigga moment because she said, he beat me. And then they said, your ass going to jail. And he said, oh, shit.
And it's crazy because the shit is on camera. The fact that they have everything on camera and still convict them. They got him running away. And
that's why his career will make a comeback. Shout out to him. And I always thought she was kind of weird. She always gave me a weird vibe. And he's weird to me. I said that even at the height of his fame I said, dude is weird, man. Like I said, he came to the awards dressed like Steven from Django. He looked like he was dressed like in 1850s Confederate tuxedo and shit. I'm like, I just thought he was weird off top. Like, dude, you do know it's not 1866, right? You don't have to pour the tea. But that's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, so if people say the Jamie Foxx thing's funny, it is some funny parts, but then a lot of it is just him kind of reflecting and he's giving it up for the people who supported him and his family. His daughters are a big part of it, his sister and his daughters, because he's thanking them for how they took care of him. And he gives it up for a nurse who he encountered, who's a rehab specialist who helped him, There's some funny parts, but it wasn't like, oh my God, this shit is crazy. Like, it's like, okay, come on, Jamie, like get to the jokes. Right? I didn't, whatever. Look, nah, no, man. I'm trying not to be cold because I've been through, like how he spoke about his comeback from this incident. It's kind of like the same story of when it comes to what happened to me with my back, where it was just like, dude, like what just happened? Like, nigga, you went from Hercules to Herman overnight. Like, like what happened? And I was like, he said, all of a sudden, next thing I know, I was coming out of surgery. Like, dude, what? Can somebody explain to me?
That's how I felt about that cold. Like, I mean, I was sick. I said that shit I had was that's one of them where you be like it just was a sore throat. Then I woke up, I've been in a coma for 2 weeks. Like, what the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, on the real, shit be serious out here.
Yeah. And some people play with that line. Some people play with that just to get, get clicks and stuff like that. But listen, man, I hope y'all have a great weekend, man. It is cold as hell outside.
I'm out here now, man, changing these trailers, man. I know you hear me moving.
Yeah, just wrap up, man. Know your limits, man.
Oh, I am. Yeah.
And everybody who lives in the mill, man, stay safe, keep your head on the swivel. But I really want y'all to think about what your triggers are. We always talk about problems. A lot of times we don't talk about solutions. Figure out what your triggers are, man, because it's really about getting better. Because either you're getting better or you're getting worse. People say, no, I'm just going to stay the same. Well, staying the same as getting worse, right? Because change is inevitable and it's necessary. That's what life does. It changes. The seasons change. You change your clothes. Your appearance changes. Your body changes. Situations change. Change is a constant part of life. So don't fight it, man. Embrace it, man. In the meantime and in between time, try to be a person who cares, man. Try to be a person who's about action. Because if your criticism of the Black community outweighs your contribution to it, you're a coon. I see y'all Monday when I get back, man. Keep me in your prayers.
Yes, sir. Outlaw, be safe on that road, man.